Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Night Owl, show that we do twice a week where we talk about all the latest in pop culture news, TV and movie reviews, gaming news, and just the general conversations of the day. For those who don't know me, I'm Price of Reason, and with me, as always, is my co host, Professor R2. How's it going, Professor?
Oh, it's going well. I don't know why you had to put Alex Kurtzman on the thumbnail today, but yeah.
There's a reason for it because there's a
Okay.
new rumor about him,
Oh
and I wanted
no.
to address this
Oh
rumor.
no new rumors, unless it involves. Yeah, I'm not going to wish cancer on him, but
No, no.
something horrible. If it
No,
involves
I would
something
never
horrible.
even to a guy that I don't like, I would never wish
No.
any health stuff or anything like that.
Not at
But
all. No, that's no.
I just, I'm a very professional person. I think that if you did a job poorly and ruined everything you were in charge of and also made like hundreds of millions of dollars, the minimum you could do is just go away, and it's best if we don't hear from you. You know what I mean? Like I think that's fair. There's
Yes.
this guy, no matter what, most people when they do the worst job ever and lose billions of dollars, they're never going to bounce back. Like most people don't bounce back from it. When if you're hired to do a job and you keep failing over and over again, there's consequences. Somehow, when you look at the likes of Alex Kurtzman or Kathleen Kennedy, it kind of is annoying just how much these guys made money from continuously just ruining franchises. It's very strange. J.J. Abrams, too, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, at least JJ seems to have faced some sort of some sort of reckoning after the Star Wars prequels.
Yeah,
sequels.
I mean,
sorry.
he got the reckoning on one hand because you feel like since then it's been already a number of years. Rise of Skywalker was probably, what was it, in 2019, has
Mm-hmm.
not been able to shake that movie from him. Imagine that it's been about 7 years and it completely changed the trajectory of his career. Like before that, J.J. Abrams was still walking around with this kind of false reputation that he actually knows how to do something. Rise of Skywalker comes out, and since then it's like, 7 years. If there were 7 years of good, what is it in the Bible? There's something about 7 good years and then 7 bad years. Am I
Yeah,
making
there's
any
there's
sense?
some stuff. There's some stuff like that. Yeah.
Didn't Joseph, he interpreted Pharaoh's
Yes, he
dream?
interpreted the dream. Yes,
Dream
and
of
then there.
Pharaoh, and he had 7 good years and 7 bad years.
Yes.
So
Yes.
J.J. Abrams had 7 good years with all that like Lost and garbage or whatever he made. I don't know what. Maybe it was more than 7 years. He had like 7 years that everything was going his way, and then like he had 7 years of all crap. Like he was exposed, and I don't think he's really bounced back since. When was the last like big J.J. Abrams project? You've seen him like direct some big movie. Nothing. And one of
No,
the
yeah,
reasons
he's basically gone. I mean, he's off doing some production stuff, but that's it. Yeah.
one of the reasons for that is because Rise of Skywalker until today, it took many years for them to admit what a financial failure it was. I always knew it. They're like, "Oh, it made money." It didn't make money. They spent so much money refilming and refilming and refilming that movie. Uh, I don't know if you tally up all the production, is it like 400, 500 million before like marketing costs. That that
Yeah.
that movie needed to make like probably 1.5 or billion dollars just to break even. As bizarre as that sounds, but I'm not kidding.
Oh yeah, it was
Let me see for a
outrageous
second.
amounts.
Let me see.
If
What's the production? I wanna
so
know 'cause, and for years, they're like,
Disney's
"Oh, it cost 175 million or whatever." It
yeah.
didn't cost
No.
150.
So Disney's total spend was reportedly $593.7 million, almost 600 million. Now they saved some because, again, the reason we know these numbers is because they made the movie in the UK and they
Right.
filed for tax benefits from making it in the UK. So they have to sign and file and release all of this stuff because it's now public record. So in tax reimbursement, they got back 103.8 million. So that brings the net spend on the film to 489.9. Now, that doesn't count any of the additional spend that they had to put on it for all of the marketing and promotion, all the other stuff that went with it. So yeah, we are still talking. If you imagine that the marketing was probably in the $150 million range, right? You're
Right.
still talking about a movie that had to make 1.2 billion just to break even.
At minimum. At minimum.
At the absolute minimum.
I feel like, one day when we learn about, like, all the marketing costs or whatever it is, I feel like without 1.5, I don't even think that they could. I'm not even sure they broke even. But let's say if we were generous, 1.2, still, it was a flop. It was a flop. Rise of Skywalker was a flop somehow. That is just crazy that movie was a flop. Because most movies, of course, it wasn't a good movie, but the Star Wars name alone carried it to like $1 billion, still less than Rise of Skywalker, and significantly less than Force Awakens, showing the diminishing returns. But the fact that they poured so much money into it and it was actually a flop, so that means Kathleen Kennedy really only had. I'm trying to think. Okay, so Force Awakens, fine, that made money. There's nothing you can do. Any movie that would have restarted the Star Wars franchise probably would have made a lot of money. Not really a big deal. It was obviously going to make money. Rogue One, there were a lot of reshoots there. I wonder Rogue One, when you tally up all her stupid mistakes with the reshoots, hiring Gilroy to reshoot them, like, third act. I wonder how much money that movie made.
I don't know. I do know that it was Solo. That was the one that really did lose at the box office.
For real, yes.
It lost an estimated $103.3 million at the box office. Rise of Skywalker was believed to be profitable. Now I don't know. They say it was just in the profit, but the return on investment was very small.
It's not true. It wasn't
very
in the profit.
minimal.
It's an absolute lie. It lost money.
Yeah, I would say, again, after you added marketing costs and stuff, I don't think there's any way in hell it actually made anything back. But there have been a few people who have done, run some of these numbers. And you'll remember that Disney famously spent $4 billion to bring in the Disney IP into its wheelhouse, right? To buy out Lucasfilm and bring everything Lucasfilm in. They spent $4 billion, and they have, in various different estimations, earned about 1.2 billion in profit on the Disney brand. So they are still 2.8 billion in the hole.
Not to mention, if you think about that hotel, the Starship Cruiser, that itself was billions of dollars. So many stupid things. This, like, I wonder if, like, in the history of Hollywood, if there was an executive that lost more money than Kathleen Kennedy, in a way. That, like, she continued to just be given carte blanche to lose more and more money. I mean, I guess, like, Kurtzman could give her a run for her money, but I somehow feel like she lost more.
Oh, yeah. Very likely.
Yeah. By the way, I see Sean in the comments. Sean, if you're around. I don't know if you are.
Come and hang, buddy.
Yeah, it's been ages.
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars is as a brand. I mean, however we got here talking about it, like Star Wars as a brand just so dead.
Yeah, I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
we went from Alex Kurtzman to JJ, and then JJ to Star Trek or Star Wars. That's how we.
What was on our docket? What did I even write in the thing?
Something about Afroman. I have no idea what you're talking about. I have been tied up all day long. I don't even know who Afroman is. So
Okay,
you're
Afroman
gonna have
is
to,
some
you're
like
gonna have to go into the Afroman story here for me.
okay, so Afroman, I don't know if you remember, like there, years ago, this guy had some songs and stuff. I don't really even remember. It's not even an artist that I really listen to.
Okay, I
Maybe some
remember. I
people.
remember a musical artist named Afroman. I don't really remember any of the music, but it rings a bell.
It's not really the music that I typically listen to. But what happened is that I guess some police officers they raided his home and
Okay.
based on like a tip that was like some faulty tip, and they walked in and they like raided and they took his stuff, and then they took $5,000 from him, but then when they returned it, some of the money was missing. And basically like they ransacked his house, they embarrassed him in front of his family and all this other stuff. And apparently they did all of that with for no reason, like it was a mistake. So he afterwards started making videos of him mocking them and doing a parody of these officers and like just making songs about them and how they suck. And for some strange reason, they sued him for like defamation. And there was like a whole weird trial. I mean, it is like if I made a movie showing you what's going on with this weird thing, you'd be like, "No, this is too far fetched." Like nobody would believe this is really happening. And at the end, Afroman, if I understand correctly, won the trial. Like the police are in the wrong. He can do like an under free speech, like make fun of them. And the trial of him like having to show these videos and these like people, it is so bizarre. I don't even know if I can properly recap everything,
Okay,
but
I was searching on X looking for some stuff. So yeah, it sounds like there's a post here from Count Dankula that
it's a
basically
good one, yeah.
has the whole thing, and I can show it here real quick if you want. We can just go through
Sure.
it. Yeah.
Uh,
Wow. This is bananas. Okay. Presentation mode. Oh, and we have a wild Sean Crummell in the house.
awesome.
What?
Sean, what's up?
What? His camera is on, but he's not in the. Oh, you'll have to put it on. Put it
Oh
on
no,
presentation.
something strange is happening, Professor.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think you just have it on Duo, so it just has the two of us here. I think you have to.
no. What happened is that something strange is happening to my laptop. There's like I'm losing space and I don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on one second. You guys talk amongst yourselves for a second. Show the Count Dankula thing.
Yeah, go ahead. Put it on. We have to put it on presentation mode.
Oh,
real quick.
okay, sorry.
Yeah, and then we'll be able to see it. We can. Yeah. There's Sean. Hey there, man.
How are you?
I'm doing fine. What do you know about Afroman, Sean?
Wasn't he big in the 2000s? And then that was the last I heard of him.
It seems like, yeah, that's about all I can remember. Is I remember hearing about an artist named Afroman. I don't remember listening to any music, but yeah. So there was a trial, apparently, and so the cops raided his house for some suspicious reasons. They took money, broke down his door, tore up the house. There was never any criminality found whatsoever. No charges at all pressed against Afroman. Afroman spent the next 3 years making songs making fun of the officers involved, using their names, and even using footage of the raid on his CCTV cameras, from his CCTV cameras in his home. Songs had titles like Randy Walters is a son of a bitch and a Lick'em Low Lisa, accusing one of the officers of being a lesbian and sleeping with other officers' wives. During the raid, one officer looked like he was about to eat some lemon pound cake sitting on Afroman's counter, so Afroman made a whole album calling that officer fat. The cop made and filed a lawsuit for defamation. Afroman turned up in court in an American flag suit. So there's a picture of him.
And at least he's not bitter.
Okay, this is ridiculous. Your Price is Right. This is This is something, if you were to make a movie like this, nobody would believe it. So the cops got in filed a lawsuit. He turned up in court in the American flag suit. Officers performatively mauled and cried while listening to the songs, really trying to oversell how badly the songs had upset them. One officer is suing because Afroman made a whole song about him saying he was fucking the officer's wife. When the officer was asked if Afroman was really banging his wife, he said, "I don't know."
That was the weirdest part.
Nuking his own case and establishing that there is a non-zero chance that Afroman might actually be banging his wife. As his only witness for the trial, Afroman brought a deputy's ex-wife. And the jury ruled completely in favor of Afroman. The entire thing has been a great win for free speech and absolutely epic hilarious.
Wow.
That's great.
And then what happened is that he was like, you know, there's a few funny videos of him outside the courthouse or whatever it is.
Isn't there a video of him like dancing in the suit or something?
Yeah. One second. If you have some of his, I think there were a few of these songs or whatever it is. Some of it is really kind of bizarre and funny.
You received hundreds of pound cakes at work from different people.
Okay. And the context of that name comes from a music video that Mr. Foreman created, correct?
I don't know where he got it at, but you'd have to ask him that question.
They're watching
the Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door. Then I heard the glass break.
You would admit that you with the glasses walking by the lemon pound cake on the counter?
Yes.
And that is security footage from the search of Mr. Foreman's residence?
I assume, yes.
But there's no question that you during the search.
Yes.
There is question.
No, that was me, yes. Absolutely.
Where was the guy? There was something about the guy sleeping with the other guy's wife, and that guy acted so weird on the stand. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did the Because I Got High song. Back
Yeah,
in the
that sounds like
2000s.
him. Here, this is the thing. This is the thing with the guy testifying. Let me see if I can get this. Do you see it?
Yeah.
He had sex with your wife.
Yes.
Okay. And that's painted you in a false light.
It's caused tremendous pain in my life.
I'll get to that. We have to go through false light first. So does it paint you in a false light?
Yes, but my wife is cheating on me with Mr. Foreman.
We all know that's not true, correct?
I don't know.
I don't get this. Why did he say I don't know? That means he thinks that
You
like
don't know if your wife's cheating
Afroman.
on you or not?
You want to go there?
No, I just want to ask that question because you said you don't know. I just
Been
need
with
to
that
answer
woman since middle school.
Yeah.
I would hope she wouldn't. But you know what? Once somebody puts it out there for their fun and entertainment, it's out there. And it's a problem.
We cannot verify the truth of it. Is it a thing that can be verified, true or false?
Have you asked her, sir?
Wow.
Very
That is
poor
something-
performance by these guys.
His lawyer should have prepared him for that, right? Like he should have prepared him to say, like, okay, well, you need to be definitive in saying your wife has not been involved with him because that's what our case is based on. Like that this is not truthful. This is definitively a falsehood. And so we have to, you know, be able to prove that in court by saying, I don't know. Like what?
What is
this,
going
I guess-
on there?
Oh my god. I believe that's the Lick 'em Low Lisa
Oh.
video. Oh my god.
I thought she was laughing.
She raided my house. She raided my house. She disrespected my camera. Then she went down on my
So weird.
You really don't know her. I noticed her voice is a few octaves lower. She's not too ugly. She's not too fine, but she's might whip out something that's bigger than mine. Lick 'em up, Lisa. Lick 'em up, Lisa.
This is so bizarre, this whole thing. I mean, listen, let me put it this way. It's not that I can't understand. I mean, sometimes maybe some satire can really be hurtful and whatever, but I mean, they did kind of bust into his house and do all that stuff, and I don't know, he was doing his own satire and parody. I think that in some ways, these police officers made it worse. Meaning, by doing a trial, I wouldn't have known about this whole weird thing had they not sued him.
Mm-mm.
It kind of makes me think of the Todd McFarlane getting sued for naming characters after actual people, but also like defamation cases I've heard are very hard to prove that the damages have been done. Like I think you can parody celebrities, but like private citizens you can't. But I don't exactly understand how they would be personally injured by any of this. Like unless it affected them getting a job and they could like quantify I missed out on this salary or something.
And I think that would be that's a big stretch.
Because the sheriff's never supposed to raided my house in the first place. The whole raid was a mistake. All of this is their fault. If they hadn't have wrongly raided my house, there would be no lawsuit. I would not know their names. They wouldn't be on my body. They wouldn't be on my home surveillance system. And there would be no songs, nothing. My money would still be intact, nothing. So all of this is their fault.
She raided my house. She disconnected my camera.
I wonder if he could countersue them now.
No, if he could, he probably can. I don't know. 250 years from now, the next civilization will figure out how to play our videos, and I'm come across the Afroman trial and be like, huh? It's true though. It's the craziest thing. Where's the thing that he's like? This is the part. This is after he won, and everybody's celebrating with him.
Yeah, we did it, America. Yeah, we did it. Freedom of speech. Right on, right on. Yeah, God bless America. Yeah, power to the people. Yeah.
I mean, you can't take away from the guy how much fun he's having with this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There's something kind of amusing about the whole situation.
There is just a little bit.
So, yeah, I mean, was it petty? Sure, but by the way, I saw something this week that like a lot of times I see things like either memes or things that people write and I don't fully laugh, or I just kind of mildly laugh. I saw something and it cracked me up legitimately. Like I found myself, I let out like a real laugh, you know? I'm trying to see if I can find it. Where is that thing? Did I share it with you guys in that chat room? I'm trying to find it now. Okay, I found it. Are you ready?
I think I know which one you mean.
Bring it.
Okay. I don't know why this made me laugh probably more than it should have. But let me find it. Okay. Let me check. My computer's been doing strange things. It's okay for now. Oh, this isn't what I wanted. Where do I find that thing?
Twitter? Sorry, X?
Yeah, no, but I believe I downloaded it. Okay. If I do save image as, and it's on the desktop, and then... Okay, I got it. Sorry, I had to bring you into that whole process, John. So this is a post about Neelix from Voyager. I don't know why this cracked me up. I don't know if everybody knows this. I just kind of ran across it, and it says, "Could he act? No." But was his character? But was his character good? Also no. And were his plot lines compelling? Not really. But did he look good? Also no.
Also no.
But did I enjoy his time on the show? Again, no. But would I watch more of his character? Also no. And I don't know why I read it, and I just like I found myself like having a real laugh. Like I don't think I've seen this character described in a few sentences in such a good way. I feel like this sums up how I feel about this character.
Works for me, yeah. Was he good? No. Did I enjoy his performance? No. Did he have good plotline? No.
I like that you keep expecting an end to it, and then it just keeps going.
But also no.
No, you think that at the end, like the twist will be, but would I want to watch more of him? Sure. And then like you're like, oh, okay. And I kept expecting that kind of twist where at the end there's something that he likes about him, and then you read it, the final one, and it's also no. And I don't know why. It's funny.
Yeah, it is.
Can't really explain it, but it got a chuckle out of me. There's so much stuff I see that doesn't make me laugh, but this one kind of did. I don't know. It did it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Hey, Robot Head. Yeah, I think this was a good description. And yeah, I mean, listen, would I do the thing if I was Afroman? Would I go and like do these videos and do whatever? It wouldn't be my thing. It was very, very petty, and you know, I wouldn't do it. But at the same time, I guess there is something called freedom of speech. They did mistakenly raid his home and do a lot of weird stuff in his house. He felt that he could say whatever he wanted, and apparently, I guess he was in the right.
I thought you were gonna say also no.
Also no. No, I think he did whatever he could.
Also, who has that much free time to write a song for or entire albums for each cop?
I mean, he was probably an art. He's like, I'm going to tell you something. I had never booked him myself, but back in the day, I worked at an agency where from time to time we would book him for events. You know, I think initially he had that song about getting high, and like, you know, he had a few other songs. Then he sort of became this kind of hype man DJ type of guy. So there would be times there would be events. I've pitched him before for events for like DJ. There were times, there were years that he did DJ. He collected some money during that era. But in more recent years, I don't really know how much he does. I'm not saying he doesn't do anything. I don't know what he did or what he didn't do. He must have had some money still, but I don't really know what he's done in recent years. So yeah, what's it to him? He just sat around and made these songs.
Sure.
I mean, he was a songwriter. That was his job. You can like his songs, you cannot like his songs, but I think, you know, for this kind of silly parody, whatever it is, it actually suits him. You know what I mean? Like when I think to myself of listening to some like quality artist, I'm not thinking really of his music, but if you want like some kind of humorous, like, you know, satirical songs, I think he's probably okay. It's always been his thing, is a little more comedy and stuff.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Afroman plays the guitar in all his tracks, just in case anybody knows, all the way back in the early 2000s. Well, that's fine. I mean, I'm sure that, you know, whatever he plays is probably like serviceable enough. I play guitar on all my tracks too. Well, not all of them. In the early days, there were other people. It's a long story.
As soon as I have tracks, I will play guitar.
The thing with me is that I used to. There were times that I would like play guitar, and then I was hoping that somebody else that knows how to play guitar significantly better than me would either replace the guitar or just do a whole different idea with it, like make it better. And then in the later years, when I didn't really, I was doing it more for fun. There was a band I was in, and we recorded. I recorded guitars and bass, and I sang. And the idea was, a friend of mine recorded the drums, and we were supposed to bring somebody to replace the guitars and then replace the bass. But when I tried to do that, a lot of people were like really snooty, and they didn't. They're
Mm.
like, my schedule is so busy, I couldn't possibly fit you in there, and things like that. The funny thing is the people that said that, they probably like live in their like in the trunk of their car or something. They're like, my schedule just won't allow for it. Sorry, I can't explain it to you. There is this website where you can go and I don't know if it still exists. I think it was called like Bandmix or something like that. And in Bandmix, you can go and you can find other musicians. And I really quickly wanted to try to put together that like a guitar player and a bass player would join us. So I put a few ads there thinking people will do it. Or some people advertise, I'm a bass player in the area, I'm a guitar player. So I reached out to them. I'm like, hey, we're doing this thing. Maybe you can come by, maybe you can play bass, maybe you can then. And then, like I said, people that like for sure, it's not like they were on top of the world. They're like, oh, like I don't know if my schedule will allow for it. Like such snooty people. It's like, guys, like you. I'll bring like a 6-pack of beer and we can split it, and you can like
Mhm.
play guitar on this track.
Come have fun for a half hour.
Everyone on that platform thinks that they're going to be, someone's going to call them up and be like, hey, we need you to come and replace Dave Grohl in the band for the show this weekend or something. That's
I had a strange situation. I can't believe I'm saying this. I probably shouldn't talk about it, but who cares? It's the middle of the night and I say weird things in the middle of the night. So basically, this was years ago. I went on this site, and at the time I was looking, I was sort of, I don't know if to say between bands. I wasn't doing a lot, and I kind of wanted to do something. So I was looking for musicians in the area, and a band that had a singer no longer had that singer. I guess they had a singer, he didn't exist anymore. I don't know what it is. And then they they said, okay, we have some tunes, but like, we don't have the vocals or the lyrics or whatever it is. So they sent me some music to work with. And then, I recorded stuff, and like, things seemed to be going well. And then like, I was in, we were already did some rehearsals and things like that. And they're like, we still want to make sure, like, we're keeping our options open. We're this and we're that. I'm like, guys, I'm sitting around like writing like melodies and lyrics and doing stuff and recording stuff. I'm not doing any of this stuff if you guys, like I said, you're on the fence, you want to find other people, and the thing is that I heard the singer they had before me. Now, I'm not saying that I'm like, Ronnie James Dio or something. It's not that I'm saying that I'm Robert Plant or who knows what. For the kind of grungy music they were doing and whatever like singer they had before me, it was an upgrade. I'm not saying that any other person, that there's somebody that could be better than me that would be an upgrade, considering the fact that they were just a couple of guys in the area. I don't think that their band was really going anywhere, and it was more for fun. Having a guy that could actually do their songs and actually help them develop them versus a guy that isn't doing anything is already an upgrade. But they got greedy very quickly. Very, very quickly they got greedy, and that's it. I mean, I told them, listen, it's fine. It's either like we're doing this or we're not doing it. You're not sure, it's fine. Then forget about it. And they're like, yeah, no, we have to think. We have to do this. We have to do that. And like, supposedly after that, like we didn't, I don't really know what happened, but they broke up like 5 minutes later.
no.
I guess what I'm saying is people are just so stupid sometimes. It was just a weird ego thing. All they had to do was say nothing. You know what I mean? Like, who wants to be a part of something where like, well, we'll see what happens. Maybe like this, maybe that. What are you doing? Like you're some big man on campus. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like we all have like $5. What are you like big timing me? You know what I mean? You're not like playing Madison, and I think I said that you're not playing Madison Square Garden tomorrow. Yeah, just we're sitting here in some like $5 like recording studio that looks like a garbage can. Like nobody's Nobody's booking you tomorrow to like, open for Pearl Jam. You can relax,
The
And I
crab
think that
shack.
annoyed them. That annoyed them even more. They're like, "Oh, like with that kind of attitude." I'm like, "That's the you got to be realistic. What are you doing?" It was so annoying. I don't know why until this day. Now I remember that they annoyed me.
You don't have the right commitment that we were looking for.
Yeah. I mean, again, there's bands out there that maybe I would hear them and I think I can't do this. Like I couldn't do this job. I couldn't do it. There was another band that like an opposite thing happened. Some guy heard me on that site that you put like samples, and he really wanted me to be like the front man of his band because their singer and them parted ways. Now, honestly, I did some rehearsals with them, and I told him honestly, I'm not as good as the guy you had. I can't replace him or do what he did. You should go to that other guy that you fought with. Go tell him you're sorry and ask him to come back and ask him to come back to your band because he was better for your songs. See, like I'll be honest, I won't mislead people. I'm not going to be like, nah, screw that guy. I can do better than him. I wouldn't say that. You know what I mean? It's also sometimes like a certain song is a certain fit for a certain type of singer. I wasn't the right one for whatever they were doing, so I was able to tell them that. I don't know if they ever made up with the guy. I think they also broke up 5 minutes later.
Your band poison.
Yeah, I am. Anytime you put me in a band, it all falls apart.
Price of Yoko.
Anyhow, back to what we were talking about. What were we talking about? At least I have the thing where if you watch my video reviews at the end, you hear a song that I sing and I wrote, and I play guitar there, and I play keyboard, and I play bass, and I sing. The only thing that I did that I kind of programmed, I had to like tap with my fingers on the keyboard is like the drums. So what were we talking about? Afroman wins big.
Afroman was our last subject from the
Okay.
From the docket.
He did win big. Good day for for freedom of speech. I agree. Who were you replacing? Rob Halford? Remind me, Rob Halford?
Oh, I don't know. Ask the
I have
wrong
no
guy.
idea. In any case, yeah, like so to sum up everything so I can move on. I think I know what I wanted to say. I'm not a good singer for every type of band. The first one that like pretended that they were like going to be the next Pearl Jam, they were the type of people that I think I was a good fit for. I think that what ages we were, where we were, and what like how viable a band and all of that could be, and the kind of music they had, and the kind of knowledge, and they had missing stuff. They basically didn't have lyrics and didn't have melodies for people singing on their song. So wherever they were at, I was a good fit for them. I wouldn't say that in every case, but like I said, they got greedy very quickly. I've seen that happen before. In any case, we saw a movie today. I saw a movie. Did you see it, Professor?
I did indeed. I don't know if Sean has had the opportunity to see it yet, but yeah.
I'm going Saturday, so I'm going to have to dip out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. We don't want to ruin it for you. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if there was something else we could talk about before, we can talk about Alex Kurtzman possibly staying, and then once we dive into the Hail Mary, then you can dip out.
It's up to you. I don't want to be a...
No. We like having you here. Let's talk about this Alex Kurtzman thing.
I mean, I assume Sean has seen all of Star Trek Academy. That's the kind of thing he tunes into every week.
I've never even watched Discovery. I have not watched a single episode of any of the trash from the last
you
10
live a
years
blessed
or whatever.
You live a blessed life, Sean.
I live a life off of not making YouTubes based on it. I just listen to like you guys or Robot Head or other people, and that's always more than enough for me.
Let me see for a second. I'm trying to find this article with Kurtzman. Let's see if I can find this thing.
Oh, Kurtzman.
Oh, that Kurtzman.
Yes, there's there have been a few different people floating some rumors, including Price of Reason's most trusted source, Tachyon Pulse, that have been talking about exactly what's happening as far as the potential for a new contract for Alex Kurtzman after his current contract lapses later this year. And that would mean that potentially he would still be making Star Trek even after this disaster.
So
I want to find the exact article
Yeah.
that I've.
So it's not like a
uh,
bounty on his head kind of contract?
No, not yet. No.
Let me see if I can find it. I
Oh,
have something. I have something really thoughtful to say about it. Let me see if I
okay.
can find.
Okay.
I
Sean, Robot Head's a fan. He says he likes you a lot. since you're talking him up, he appreciates that.
I'm trying to find this thing. Where is it?
I don't know. Where is it?
It is
Robert Kurtzman. Can he direct? No. But is he a decent producer? Also
no.
No. Do the plot lines he writes, are they compelling? Not really.
No.
Do his characters make sense? Also, no. But did you enjoy his time producing Star Trek? Again, no.
That's very good.
But would I watch any of his shows again? No.
No.
Also, no.
I can't find it. It was okay. Here, this is it.
Fandom Pulse. Yeah.
Okay, so
using Tachyon Pulse as his source. So there you go, Price.
now let me tell you this. I've struggled with this. I've said before that as far as I know, anytime that I've seen this Tachyon Pulse guy, he does one out of three things. Either it's one, just stuff that's already common knowledge that everybody's just saying anyways, and he just says, oh, I just heard from my insider that this and this is happening. And it's like, it's whispers that you've heard, that we've all heard. You're just pretending somebody told you, when in fact we don't know if somebody did. Very flimsy. This is one thing that sometimes happens. Another thing that he does is he's like, 2 years from now, there's going to be a movie where like it's going to be Knight Rider and G.I. Joe, or I don't know what he wrote once. And it's like, what? But you don't really have any way to like argue it one way or another, because it's simply so far away that it's some rumor that even if like nothing happens, years go by until you can dispel the rumor. And by the time, anybody can do that, he's already gotten his clicks. Allegedly. This is my theory. I could be wrong on the guy. Maybe soon, like G.I. Joe and Knight Rider are going to be like side by side in a movie. Who knows? I don't know if that's what he wrote. There was something weird. I don't remember it now. I could be like confusing between, but there was something like that. So we had that. And then in addition to that, the final thing that he does is that like he gives some like bombastic scoop or something like that like, some insider told him. This is a guy that lives in England. A lot of the times the kind of information he has, it would seem like David Ellison like gets out of the office, calls the guy, and he's like, yo, like, are you sitting down for this? I want to give you all this information. And why would he get like all this information? Some dude in England that doesn't look like he has anything to do with anything, So I'm not saying maybe he happens to have a contact. Maybe, I'm underestimating the guy. But I will say this. He's saying now that Paramount is close to closing a deal with Kurtzman that would also include Starfleet Academy Season 3. Now, if this happens, that like in a week they announce like that it's a done deal, he's continuing for 5 years, and they add that he's getting Starfleet Academy like Season 3, I'll start to think maybe this guy, like maybe, he could have still heard it like in a Reddit forum, but I'm just saying like, if at least he says this and it pans out, I will, take back some of what I said. I'll be like, you know what? Maybe this guy knows somebody. I don't want to be an asshole. Maybe, sorry, Sean, you're here, but maybe he does know. Like maybe I'm wrong, and if he does, I'll come out and I'll say, you know what, guys, I misjudged the guy. This was a good like scoop, and he did it. If that's what happens, if like a week from now, new deal, Season 3 Starfleet Academy green lit, I'm gonna agree. On the other hand, guys, if this ends up being another Knight Rider and G.I. Joe or whatever it is, and it just ends up being like some nonsense, you know, maybe that'll be a good point to stop quoting the guy every second, because so many times that I've seen to date that people are like so sure about whatever it is that they're saying, it leads to nothing. You know what I mean?
How is
Mhm.
Mike Zero, by the way?
This is a
Still-
type of Mike Zero. Yeah.
Still reporting all sorts of ridiculous stuff.
No, I'm not anti-British. I like British. I'm saying that this guy, he seems like, you know, he just doesn't strike me as the guy that like all the executives are leaving the executive room and like, you know, giving him all the info. I'm not saying that it couldn't happen. Maybe somehow he knows one dude and that dude is just like super well connected. Maybe I'm wrong. There's about a 10% chance that I'm wrong, and I feel like there's a 90% chance that I think that I don't really this seems more like the National Enquirer, not Fandom Pulse themselves, but they're quoting the National Enquirer, if you understand what I'm saying.
A bit, yeah. Does feel like that.
So, yeah, let's see what happens. It's close to a deal with Alex Kurtzman. Let's see.
I sure hope not. And if it is a deal, it does sound like perhaps Paramount is wanting to hold on to him in some fashion with like a first look deal, kind of like what JJ has gotten recently, right? Where they pay him to be like, all right, well, we get a first look at anything you make, and that deal has nothing to do with Star Trek. I'll be okay with that.
And now, look at this. This is also interesting. When does this come out on Tachyon Pulse? This week, Alex Kurtzman himself went to the press and said, I can't wait to talk to David Ellison. I have so many ideas to continue like Starfleet Academy. So I'm not saying that this is what he did, but maybe that guy sees it and he's like, so I'll go with this story. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, if I were to do like a scoop based on what Alex Kurtzman himself said, I could write an article saying like Alex Kurtzman is talking to Paramount right now about doing 4 more seasons of Starfleet Academy, because that's what he said in this stupid thing. He's like, I got 4 seasons worth of material. Can't wait to talk about it with David Ellison. That's what Alex Kurtzman literally said. Okay, so this guy kind of looks at it and he's like, oh, maybe he's talking to David Ellison, maybe this, maybe that. Now we'll see what happens. And personally, first of all, I still, even if this is correct, this could be like a lucky sort of, he's just taking Alex Kurtzman at face, whatever is saying and just repeating what Alex Kurtzman said. And maybe Kurtzman is saying something true. I don't really know. The other thing that can happen is that they don't renew Alex Kurtzman's deal, and then all of this is just nonsense. We'll see what happens. I really, really hope that David Ellison does not continue with Kurtzman in any way, shape, or form. The fact that there's like an opportunity to get rid of him now, it's too good to not do it. Do you get what I'm saying, Professor?
No, absolutely. I think, frankly, if Ellison and his crew at Skydance don't just kick him out on his ass, that they're even entertaining some kind of a deal with him, pisses me off if it's true, because he is, he is a joke. He has not made them any money. He has not done anything that has enriched an IP for them, that has brought in new viewers, that has brought in subscribers. He's not done anything that has in any meaningful way contributed to Paramount, to the Paramount Plus app and brand. He made a bunch of shows that drove fans away, drove people away from the Star Trek brand. Did they bring some new people in? Maybe, but not nearly as many as they chased off. And so if you're looking at this from just a dollars and cents level, Kurtzman has to go. Secret Hideout has to go. And what they are making, the shows that they have been making, have to end. They've got to turn the page and find someone else. And if they don't have anyone, so that's one of the rumors, is that they don't know who else to trust with Star Trek. And right now, I think Terry Matalas now has a deal starting soon with a different streaming service, so he wouldn't be available for Paramount Plus. I don't remember exactly what that was, but they don't know who to trust with Star Trek, because they don't really want Ellison doesn't want to do it himself, right? There's no other executives that are saying, I know what to do with it, I know who to do it. So they want to hold on to Kurtzman because they say, well, he's all we have. He's the only, he's the guy who knows what to do with Star Trek. He doesn't know what to do with Star Trek. He is a joke. Get rid of him. And if you don't have anyone lined up to take over Star Trek, let Star Trek rest. Let it rest for a year. Let it rest for 2 years, whatever, while you try to find the right people to be in charge of Star Trek. Because if you're just going to keep going with Kurtzman, or if you're just going to, this guy had an idea, let's go with him or whatever, like without really like thinking about it, without doing some market testing or anything like that to see like, yes, this is the direction we ought to go. If you don't have someone to take it over, you don't just default to the guy who's been running it into the ground for the last few years. Let it rest. Let it sit for a few years while you come up with a plan for how you're going to turn Star Trek around and do something different.
So
isn't he from the school of make an announcement like J.J. Abrams and then make it to the press and try to put pressure on them to make it happen?
Oh, he's definitely from the J.J. school, that's for sure. There's no question about it.
He's also my dad was like hardcore Star Trek for like as long as I've been alive, and since then he's pretty much gotten rid of everything Star Trek in his house. It's a little sad to me, but you can thank Kurtzman.
Yeah. I'm still holding on to classic Trek, to the shows from the show from the 60s, the shows from the 80s and 90s. Still holding on to the films. Those are still enjoyable. I can still go back and watch those. I can do so without worrying about any of the Kurtzman stuff or JJ's weak attempt at trying to make Star Trek with his 3 films. It's for me, they're two just completely separate things, right? There's Star Trek, and then there's this other stuff pretending to be Star Trek,
where they're trying to
they're trying to turn it into Star Wars. They're trying it to turn into this sort of fantasy adventure thing. That's one thing that I never understand. People are like, well, we're making Star Trek more interesting. It's got more adventure. It's going to be more like Star Wars. That's not Star Trek. Star Trek has more in common with The Outer Limits or The Twilight Zone than it does with Star Wars. Just because it happens out there in the stars, it happens in space, that's not the point of it, right? We had these shows like Star Trek, and we also had other shows like The Twilight Zone, Night Gallery, others. Night Gallery is a little more horror focused, but you had these other shows that also spent time, especially like Outer Limits, which spent time exploring the same types of ideas. They were just a little more grounded than Star Trek was, going out there into space and dealing more closely with alien civilizations and stuff.
I wanted to look at this for a second. So I'm gonna look at it, and if it turns out that all this stuff pans out, I'm gonna tell everybody here that I was wrong, and I'm happy to do that. I always stop short because I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. So you have Knight Rider and Airwolf doing a movie together. I don't know if this was even his scoop. There was something that he was reporting on 5 months ago. Haven't heard anything about Knight Rider and Airwolf teaming up. I said G.I. Joe, but I guess it was Knight Rider and Airwolf. But I never heard of anything like that. I don't know if that's really happening or not. And really, when I look at it, the person that sort of started the rumor was him.
Yeah.
So even if you look and like you Google and you find one of those kind of Fandom Pulse articles, it's basically because he said it, so they just quoted him. Then okay, Paramount is not impressed with Starfleet Academy. Let me see. No deal with Kurtzman. Then you have they said, oh, like,
Yeah.
look, Disney is not working doing Doctor Who anymore, like confirmed, as if like they scooped it. I don't think anybody thought that that Disney was going to do more. I didn't need to wait. Like I've said it well before 4 months ago. You know what I mean? Like this was something that's been talked about for a very long time. For anybody that's like paying attention to what's happening with Doctor Who, when they showed the final round of episodes for Ncuti Gatwa, they basically didn't even recommend him. You would go into like the Disney site and they'd hide the episodes. Nobody hides episodes if they want to invest more money in it. Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go into Disney Plus and it's like the first thing there, or it's one of those like, how there's like a recommended panel that like they keep switching like 5-6 things there that they want you to watch. If it's not there and you literally have to like search for it to find Doctor Who with Ncuti Gatwa, that's not a good sign. And you could tell that once the second season came along, they were not pushing that thing in any way, shape, or form. Not in the U.S. I don't know if they did it in other countries. In the U.S., it almost like they didn't want you to watch it.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm saying is this wasn't any kind of big scoop, even if he was right on it. I guess what I'm saying is, there's so many videos. There are videos that I say that I was like, the first to report on something, but if you actually ask Grok, which I don't know if that's an authority, Grok will tell you that like I was the first to report it. And I don't do it every second. It's not like every thumbnail is mine is that like, I've succeeded in a scoop. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Anyhow, so basically I just want to see what else there was. There was also some stuff about like Kurtzman out, on what then he's at Netflix is winning with buying Warner Brothers. Are they? And then suddenly
seems
they
like
weren't.
not.
Yeah, no, suddenly it wasn't. They're like, oh, it's not over. It's not over. Like, it's just listen, I don't want to knock anybody's hustle. It's fine. Like, you have a channel and you want to make videos and you want people to watch your videos. It's fine. Everybody does whatever they can do. It's just like, I guess the part that's sort of, I don't know if to say the word bother. The part that I like less is that people somehow think that, everything this guy says is some like serious scoop. Yeah. It's even in the videos where I take credit for saying something they ended up panning out, I usually say that it was a certain like analysis. You know what I mean? I looked at the different pieces of the puzzle, I deduced a certain situation, and I seem to be early on deducing. And I said even in the videos, it's not that somebody called me from the studio. It's not that David Ellison called me to tell me the news. It's just that I looked at a few different things and came to a conclusion. And I shared it with people, and the analysis was pretty good. It's not that every video of mine is a scoop. You know what I mean? Like there's a few of them that I did that I think I analyzed things correctly, but I'm not going to do every thumbnail that like it's the biggest story of the year. But it's fine. I mean, like people said, Mike Zero also. If you look at Mike Zero's like, let's see what Mike Zero is doing these days. I haven't watched it. There was for a while he was doing Billie Eilish and Mel Gibson. Let's see what he's doing now. Mel Gibson just destroyed woke celebrities after the Oscars. I don't think Mel Gibson has been talking to anybody. Billie Eilish rages as public after the Oscars. Is she though? See, he had 3 of them after the Oscars. After the Oscars. He probably saw there was Oscars, and in one day, he had celebrities, quote unquote, melting down after the Oscars. I don't think any of these celebrities, you know what I'm trying to say? I don't think any of these celebrities said anything or anybody cares. This I think he likes writing Billie Eilish loses it. Like 5 out of 6 out of his latest thumbnails are like Billie Eilish loses it.
Are you questioning the authenticity of his reporting?
And what is this? Like every time I click on the thing, there's dogs. I don't even remember the dogs. I remember that he had like a dartboard.
Oh yeah. He's not throwing darts at the dogs now, is he?
I hope not.
Dog darts? What?
So, I guess these are the guys he likes: Sonny Hostin, Billie Eilish, Mel Gibson, Rachel Zegler, and he just recycles them. He has like a Tom Hanks, Robert De Niro, Billie Eilish, Mel Gibson, Billie Eilish.
Somebody's found an algorithm.
He like 90% of his channel is like Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish, like, listen, Billie Eilish is a stupid young lady, okay? She's really dumb and she's annoying and she's pompous and she's silly, and I have nothing good to say about her. But man, like, he like out of his last 20 videos, like at least 10 of them are Billie Eilish. How much does this? She doesn't even talk that much. You know what I mean? She did say some stupid things, but you know.
Even if she did, wouldn't it would probably sound mumbly, wouldn't it?
Probably. He had a few Jim Carrey. I don't know, maybe Jim Carrey, somebody was talking about him because it looked like, you know, there was a fake, there was a phony Jim Carrey. I don't really know.
I 100% believe he's a clone now.
So
we do have a super chat as well as a membership over on YouTube.
Yeah, Miss Sparkle says whoever gets him clicks, he'll write anything. Look at this. Like this
No
is
doubt.
like over the course, like he had 8 videos. 6 of them were Billie Eilish like losing it or getting wrecked or whatever. It's like, how much does anybody give a shit about? Sorry, Sean, about like Billie Eilish. I mean, I like getting clicks, but you know, there's only so much I could do. I really wouldn't feel good if over the course of like, and this is all happening in the same week, okay? In the same week, he did like, you know, 6 of these Billie Eilish or whatever it is. He likes Whoopi Goldberg too. He throws in a few Whoopi Goldberg, Robert De Niro, Billie Eilish, Whoopi Goldberg, 4 Whoopi Goldbergs, Sonny Host, and Billie Eilish. Okay, this is
so he
it.
likes
Look,
to watch The View, apparently. Yeah.
Look, 8 thumbnails, 8 videos, one after the other, and this is probably within like the same week. 7 of them are Billie Eilish, and one of them is Sonny Hostin. And then I click. Oh, come on. I don't know why this is cracking me up. The next 8 are also all Billie Eilish, right? Except for one, it's Ariana Grande. There couldn't possibly be so much Billie Eilish content. You know what I'm saying, Sean?
Who knows?
I have no words.
Who knows?
I wonder if does he get views? Yeah, look, he got 55,000, 44,000, 58,000, 175,000. He probably can't believe it. 175,000, and I bet you that every single video here he's just inventing. One, she had a mental breakdown. She's leaving the country. He just sees there's a scandal and he figures he's just going to try to work with the algorithm. He'll make 70 videos making up stories about her.
And if he's using AI to write the headlines, I wouldn't be surprised.
Probably. You know what? With the invention of AI, he doesn't even have to do any work anymore. All he does is let AI write like the most outlandish thing it can write, and he just sits there and he says it.
I believe it.
He got on one, like, you know, she had a nervous breakdown. Man. I mean, fine. Like I said, I appreciate the hustle. He has an extended theme. Anyhow,
he has a regular theme.
The extended version.
Well, the thing is that the theme song, you know, people know that my initial theme, and now I use a different theme, but initially when I used a theme, it was actually a parody of Mike Zero. You know that, right?
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
So the original, I am such an awesome guy. I make so many videos. Like the original one. Sorry, I have a sore throat, but the original one was basically a parody of like Mike Zero. but now it says he has a revised version. Could it be that he heard my like new one and he did like a fancier one? I'm so curious. I don't want to get a strike, but let's like a claim.
It's an intense salt lamp.
The Himalayas are coming hard.
Mhm.
That was his thing. I didn't hear anything. It just is nothing. So weird.
Well, AI wrote that too.
What'd you say?
Well, yeah.
AI wrote that too, so it's okay.
Mrs. Sparkle says, how is he not exhausted from using the same subject over and over again? I don't know. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, let's be fair. He already has like, 500,000 or 600,000 followers. He didn't gather them in one day. He's been doing this for years. He's found himself like a little corner of the internet where he just makes up a new story every 5 minutes. He is the National Enquirer of YouTubers. He just sits and does that. He's already gathered there's 500,000 people that are subscribed to him that are, I guess, happy to hear whatever nonsense he has to say. And that's it. Once he's got them locked in, he just talks about whatever nonsense. I think that people that probably click on it, they're the same people. I've said it before, at the supermarket, the ones that buy the National Enquirer, they will watch Mike Zero. It's fine. I mean, listen, people... it would be difficult for me with a straight face to keep making 20 Billie Eilish videos that I invent a story, but maybe for somebody else, it's not difficult.
Mm.
Well, some people enjoy writing fiction. I suppose that would, he likes to just sit down and just make up stuff. What am I going to say today that's not going to get me sued?
Right, and the thing is, the original one, the theme song that exists now at the end of videos actually doesn't sound so much like the Mike Zero one, even as a parody anymore. But the initial one, he had this thing at the end that sounded like he was... I thought he was singing himself, and I couldn't understand his lyrics. But then I guess it turned out that it was somebody else singing, and he was using somebody else's track. And it's a really long story. It doesn't matter. So what were we talking about Kurtzman staying to destroy? It's a big test. I actually, you know what? I was sitting around this week and I thought to myself, there's any way that I could reach out in my real life, not as Price of Reason, the real me, if I could reach out to David Ellison and tell him, listen, don't do it. Don't do it, Anakin. I've got the high ground. Like, don't sign Alex Kurtzman. Don't do it.
Well, I thought they were supposed to be like big Star Trek fans. Everyone kept saying, like, you would think that they would recognize it hasn't been good.
I doubt they watch any of it.
I think that if David Ellison had the right people around him, maybe we could stop him from doing that.
Don't know.
Would be nice.
Would be nice, yeah. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, whether it's that Tachyon guy or Mike Zero, I'm not trying to everybody has their own hustle, and everybody does whatever is right for them, and that's cool. It's if nothing else, I have to say that Mike Zero has been doing that for at least 10 years, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 15 years. Like the level of commitment that guy has to what he does.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
He said that that's what he was doing and he went with it. He does not care. He's doing it. That's what he does. He does it. He's doing it for 15 years. I can't take it, I would think that if 15 years he did something that was really, although I can't knock 500, 600,000 people, but I feel like with the amount of views or whatever he's gotten over the years, if he really did something that was people felt such a big value for, he could have maybe had millions of subs. You know what I mean? It's It's just like along the way he's found that audience that likes the National Enquirer. On the other hand, it's not 2 followers, like 588,000 or whatever he has. It's not nothing. That is a whole lot of followers to gather for, like, for what he does.
It's hard work doing so little.
I mean, listen, he before AI, he used to have to come up with the stories himself.
That's probably what the dartboard is for. He would put several subjects and just throw like 3 darts and then link them all together and make up a story.
True. And then and Tachyon, I'll say Tachyon isn't as bad as, like, Mike Zero. It's not like you see like 20 Billie Eilish videos in one day, but when it comes to Tachyon Pulse, like I said, stuff that's already established that everybody knows anyways, something that somebody is saying and he's just going along with some celebrity what he said, or somebody told him a secret from a meeting or whatever it is. That's usually like 1 out of 3. I am willing to give the man a chance. Let's see. Like, I will still say that if Alex Kurtzman gets the deal, he's just basically quoting Kurtzman now and pretending it's a scoop. But let's just say it happens. He'll be, even if it's like the luck of the draw, at least I'll say, you know what? It happened. I'll give him that minimum credit to Tachyon Pulse. And, I will say this, and then I'll move on to, I won't bother you guys with it anymore. There's somebody that, that writes, some articles and things like that. I'm not going to say who it was or what the situation was. I had a conversation with somebody that sometimes writes articles and things like that, and they gave me the impression that they're really looking for scoops rather than analysis. And I said, I'd rather give you my analysis based on, the knowledge that I have and even some experience that I have, because I think that that's worth much more than just, me making stuff up. Like, I've been in situations, if I make a video now and I say that somebody that David Ellison called... Sean, what happened?
Sean went nuclear.
Oh, he's back. So I'm just saying that, like, if I said that David Ellison, told me whatever, I could get that printed. You know what I mean? Like, if I said that I had a scoop, I could get it printed. But then how would I feel if I did that? That's the problem, I guess. In any case, the bottom line is I can only hope Alex Kurtzman isn't going to do it. I don't have the kind of relationships that I have, like, any ties to David Ellison. I think that back in the day, if I worked hard, maybe I could get to somebody who could get to somebody, but I can't even do that. I don't know how I could get through to the guy. I wish I could, though, because it's important that he never signs Kurtzman again. I don't even care. I don't need any money. You know what I mean? I'm willing to give the guy advice for free, even though he's like the second richest family in the world. And I'm just like, me, I'm willing to, like, for free. I'm willing for free. No charge whatsoever. Explain to him what he can do to fix this whole Star Trek situation free of charge, just as a gift to the guy.
You could write him a letter.
I thought about that as well. But I don't know who reads what and whatever. I've given it some thought. I'll see what I can do. I don't know.
Start one of those petitions online. I hear those actually accomplish something.
I did once. I did once email J.J. Abrams.
Directly
emailed him, and he read the email.
Have I heard this story?
I got a red receipt from J.J. Abrams. I'm serious. I am not kidding. I have a red receipt from J.J. Abrams. And then I've said this story before that he ghosted me afterwards, but I will not go into that.
Oh, I think I vaguely remember that.
Yes, that was very annoying. But and again, it's not that I was like coming from a place where anybody cares about me, but it was a very specific thing that I talked to him about, and he was, in my opinion, a jerk. But that's just my opinion. That's my personal opinion. Anyhow, I guess, Sean, we're gonna probably dive into the
Yeah, somebody did ask though if we had discussed the brand new day trailer yet.
Oh, we haven't done that, so we can do that first. But you said we had super chats and stuff. Did I miss something?
We have a super chat and a membership.
Okay, let me try to find this. Okay, tell some jokes, Professor.
I was just looking back here at the chat, just seeing who's been joining us tonight. So, yeah, I saw that mention of the brand new day trailer. I thought, oh yeah, we haven't talked about that. Did you see the brand new day trailer in the theater in front of Hail Mary today?
I showed up late. I think I showed up late in the game, so I had to see.
Yeah, we were late, and it was actually really because we were in an IMAX showing, so the actual trailers were pretty minimal in front of the showing. So
wait a second, if Sean's here, can't we do that thing where we multiply the screen and there's multiple Seans?
This we can do, yes.
I don't remember. Oh, wait, I'll do this.
How does this thing work? How do we do this?
Wait, that's the wrong. Wait.
At first, but you said we had super chats and stuff. Oh no, I echoed myself. Okay.
I'll just.
Why isn't there more windows, Professor?
It takes time.
Okay.
They multiply. There you go.
They're like babies, kids.
So, basically, we have from Jason Webster $5. So he wrote, "The devil, please keep left of that sealed off flaming pit." We've reserved that one from Alex Kurtzman. Listen, at the end of the day, like I said, I don't personally, it's personal that I hate that he ruined Star Trek, and I think he's a jerk, and I don't like him, but I try not to send like negative energy to people like that. I'm not wishing for anything, bad, even that this is something more like spiritual or metaphorical. I don't wish anything. The only thing I wish is for the guy to stay away from Star Trek. Ideally, it would have been nice if somebody like fired him publicly and told him he was an idiot. That would kind of make me feel good, but that's never going to happen. Same with like Kathleen Kennedy. They're never going to fire her. Like has she stepped down? At the end, she stepped down really quietly, with everybody saying how great she is.
Oh, is she gone already?
I don't even know. Like, is she?
She's still a consultant or whatever. She's still a producer.
Whatever. She pulled in Iger. Iger left, but he's a consultant. She left, but she's a consultant. Alex Kurtzman, I really think that they need to like separate whatever they have from Secret Hideout. There's nothing this man has that's worth anything. Meaning, I think that whatever he made is just not valuable enough to even like, bargain with. So, and Jason Webster, I'm not dismissing your feelings, of course. Like, I can understand why you don't like the guy, and I don't prefer him myself, but you know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to be a positive person. I want to be a swell guy. What else do we have? The next one was Miss Sparkles. Oh, she's a new member. Well, it's nice to see you here. Thank you. I think that I added a sorry Sean emoji or something. Please give Alex Kurtzman Rebel Moon. Yeah, let him do that. Then we have Darren M, $5. Bless you, Price. Very kind of you. All the best, my friend. What is he blessing me? What did I do? I feel like in Darren M's case, I don't have any context for what he's saying. But I mean, I appreciate you're saying something very nice, so I like it. But what did I do that was kind? I'm not 100% sure. But Professor, do you want to show the trailer for?
Oh, I can.
This is the coolest thing. I love when we're like when they keep duplicating us. It's the best. This is the greatest thing that ever happened.
So this
And then
this new Spider-Man trailer has been one of the highest viewed trailers in a long time.
Since the last Spider-Man trailer.
Yep.
So
Let's see
I
here.
guess if you have it, do you want to share it, Professor?
Yeah, I'm getting it. Hold on just a sec. We'll lose all of our
It's okay.
beautiful mirroring there, but yeah.
It's fine.
Or infinity. Let's see. Oh, what is it doing? Why?
Oh wait, I really hope Project Hail Mary is good. Please don't spoil it. Sorry, Sean. The Dead Man 79, $4.99 super chat. Thank you, the Dead Man. Dead Man is a friend of the channel.
Ooh, yeah, we'll have to try and keep it spoiler free for a bit, but then I think we'll probably end up diving into spoilers later.
Yeah, we'll give a heads up.
So yeah, we'll let you know. But yeah, appreciate that, Dead Man.
Yes or no, Professor? Were you satisfied?
I was satisfied.
Having read the book and everything.
Yes.
My wife is crying during the trailers, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
don't give anything away.
Yeah. Okay, Price. We've got our got the trailer up there.
Okay. Oh, I have to switch it?
Switch for me. Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, do we just want to play it? You worried about getting a takedown or anything?
Play it. It's fine. Play it.
I can't believe our first hit MIT! MJ, come on, pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
I can't.
I knew it!
Okay, first nitpick.
This is supposed to be.
This is supposed to be like 5 years later, right? Isn't that what we've heard? Is this supposed to be some years after the previous film?
Yeah, you'd think he'd just get on with his life, right?
Well, not that. He's watching a TikTok and Instagram of them saying it's their first day at MIT.
That's
from
true.
2, 3, 4 years ago, because they were graduating and getting their letters for MIT in the last movie.
Well, unless it's just like this first scene is still showing the aftermath of that movie, and then we jump forward in time.
I suppose that's possible.
If it's what you're saying, and then they just pretended this was 5 years and whatever, yes, it's embarrassing in that case.
I suppose that's possible. The thing is, he's in this suit, which is a new suit. This is not the suit he had at the end of the last film, unless they're saying like this little bit here, he had the new suit that happened and like almost immediately afterwards. And yeah,
Also,
this is starting there. So I don't know. But
also, there's another part here. You know, one of the good things about that movie is they kind of made it seem like we're going to see less of Zendaya and the other guy, and now like he's just going to do his thing. And to start this trailer of already like appeasing, look, Zendaya's in it. Look, Zendaya's here. Don't worry. Zendaya's in it. The first thing you don't even see his face. It starts with like you see Zendaya. That's the most important thing. You have to see Zendaya before anything else. And either that's a situation that they didn't have her for much screen time and they're just doing a bait and switch, and the bait and switch is that you think Zendaya is going to be in it, but then you will go to the movie and she's not in it. That'll be the only time that Hollywood did a bait and switch that I'll be happy. Do you get what I'm trying to say? All the time we've been getting bait and switches, like you go see Luke Skywalker and he's a bum. If like this is that you think that Zendaya is going to have a key role in this movie, and you show up and she's there for like 20 seconds and you never see her again in the movie, that is going to be the best bait and switch that ever happened. But go on.
all right.
She's definitely not a selling point for me.
I will say I do like the more comic accurate costume.
I do too, but I will say, Tomahawk says, I don't get the Zendaya hate. Isn't she better than Zegler? Yes, she's better than
she's
Rachel
definitely,
Zegler.
Everything is better than Zegler.
No, they're both terrible.
I'll tell you what, I don't hate Zendaya. It's just sort of, I feel like she's been overexposed and put in a situation that they're like, anytime that they need to put an actress somewhere, like, oh, let's put Zendaya in there. I don't think that she's, I'm not saying she can't have a career or she can't legitimately appear in movies or do stuff. I just think that they've made her, they've built her up to be like a more like amazing actress and personality than what I think she really is. Meaning,
Or attractive.
yeah, I mean, she is fine to do certain roles. I'm not saying she can't do anything. I'm just saying that they've really elevated her to a place that's reserved for, for I don't want to say for real stars, but you get what I'm trying to say?
Yes, real stars.
Yes, I have to agree with Argentum in the chat. She says, I have no problem with Zendaya personally. I just don't think she's a good actress. That's it for me.
Argentum is a woman?
Yes.
Did I always know this?
I don't know.
It doesn't sound like it.
Argentum is my internet little sister. Yeah.
Ah.
She's not my actual little sister. But
I see. I've seen her so long. I always assumed it was a guy, I guess, or maybe you once told me it was a woman. I never knew.
Yeah.
Argentum, I'm sorry. Now
Trev Retro just calls her Rachel just for the fun of it. It's not her name.
Okay.
It's funny. Anyway, so yeah, we got the start of the trailer. It's funny. They, him falling off the building. I thought the way he was kind of hanging there was interesting, but it's fun playing with his, spider powers and stuff. And again, I do like the more comic accurate outfit. I was like, yeah, that's nice. I like that.
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. You don't remember me, but we used to know each other. Something bad was going to happen, and the only way to stop it was to make everyone forget about me. Because I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
The hell, Frank? You just hit me with a van!
Quit your whimpering. Suit yourself.
Go home!
All right. So what do you think of adding Frank Castle into the mix for this movie?
It's kind of weird, and I think somebody said, oh, they already made him look stupid after 1 second that he appears here. I don't really know if they made him look stupid. It's kind of weird. I'm not saying it can't work. I like him in this role, and I like the character. I don't know exactly what they're going to do with these two guys in the same movie. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I mean, if they handle it correctly, if they do something where they're working together and there's something amusing about it, I think there's something you could do. I don't think that it's necessarily a disaster. I prefer to see less Zendaya. I prefer to see no Mark Ruffalo, but the Punisher, I like the guy,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I've liked him since the first couple seasons that he had in Walking Dead. Really enjoyed his performance.
As Shane, he was great in that.
Yes, he did so well. And then especially as Shane started, going mad, going crazy, and losing it. Like his performance in that was so good. So good.
I will even say that I think that after Shane's departure, the show gradually, isn't as good as when he was on.
Yeah.
And then, for a few seasons, it's still pretty good, but then it kind of fell off a cliff. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good actor.
Go home!
And sometimes Spider-Man has to do the hard thing, even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart. What is happening to me?
Oh, God.
Excuse me, Dr. Banner. I need your help.
What did you say your name was? If DNA is mutating, it would be enormously dangerous.
Spiders have 3 life cycles.
Okay, so I don't know we've got this. So he's mutating. Something is changing about him. Of course, that makes him a mutant, right? So now they can connect him to the X-Men. They can bring mutants into the Marvel universe. That's one way to do it. And there is some pretty solid rumors that what we're seeing here, that's this person that might be locked up here is Sadie Sink, who is going to be playing Jean Grey. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the rumors too, and I believe it. We don't see her in this trailer for some reason, but
I think that's her right there. We don't see her face.
But I actually think that before there was like a leaked trailer earlier on that maybe you heard her in the trailer, but now you don't anymore.
Yeah.
If you remember, this trailer or parts of it leaked. There was like
there were some bits that leaked.
And I think that the leak had her, her as Jean Grey, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
but I believe you.
I have such a hard time believing some of these leaks now or whatever, because it's just so easy to do some of this stuff with AI. Like the number of times that my son the other day was like, "Oh, hey, Dad, there's a trailer for this thing or whatever." I was like, "Huh?" And I looked at him like, "No, dude, that's AI." What? Yeah, no, that's an AI trailer. It's fake. Whoa, like that's not. Yeah, it's possible. Like they can do some crazy stuff with AI now. There's whole channels that do nothing but publish fake AI trailers. But yeah, I don't know. The whole idea with him mutating now, he's changing, his body's changing or whatever. Got puberty allegory there, but not that we need any more of those.
Isn't he like 30?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, apparently he's mutating, and now he's making little egg sacs and falling asleep in them or something. I don't know. Hey, at least he had pants on. I appreciate that.
Are they gonna do the comic thing where he grows like 2 extra pairs of arms?
I don't know, but it has been rumored that part of this transformation is that he has to deal with transforming into the man spider.
Oh. Now you have my attention.
Yeah, so that he, there's sort of that dark side of him where he's kind of wild and his emotions are running wild. He's not really able to control himself, and that could be interesting. I don't know. We can talk about it some more. Let's keep going.
Ruffalo is a town.
When Ruffalo cycles, it can leave the spider vulnerable to threats.
We are faced with a danger that we can't control. One we can't even see.
What?
So what? I'm not sure what villain this is supposed to be. That's like transferring its consciousness between different people. I'm not really sure what villain that's supposed to be here. I wish Phantom Outsider were in the chat. He would be able to tell us. I'm sure he's got the comic knowledge.
Makes me think of an old B movie where there's alien invaders, but they're conveniently invisible, and all you see is their tracks in the dirt.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that's supposed to be. I do know we've got the guy from Severance here. this one character, which that's fine. I don't mind him.
He's a good actor.
He's a good actor. Yeah, he's one of the standouts from Severance, even in the second not so great season.
Yeah,
he's still excellent. But let's see, what do we got next?
Stay out of my way.
There's
you're losing a
Scorpion.
And for those spiders who make it through, it amounts to a kind of rebirth.
Nice flowers.
Oh, they're a housewarming gift.
I'm MJ.
I'm just a neighbor from across the hall.
Friendly neighbor.
Friendly neighbor.
Yeah, I could use less Zendaya. I just, there was such a good opportunity to just disconnect him from all of that and just let him move on with his life and do something else. And I didn't need like this, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But sure. I can see the studio. They're like, we're not, Zendaya like has 100 million social media followers. We're not losing her, are we? So like, fine, we'll make it so that he's like, like a little poodle running around after her, even though she doesn't know who he is.
Real Head Case asked who the guy was narrating. Pretty sure that was Keith David.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's also
I was ready for him to start recruiting us to the Marines. Honestly,
wasn't there a thing there? Who was the guy that was in jail that's going to be somebody?
Oh, that was Kang the Conqueror?
No,
That
I'll tell you
actor?
exactly.
Oh.
Michael Mando. Didn't I see him for a second in the trailer?
Oh, as Gargan, Scorpion. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I think so. Let me see. Yeah, exactly. As Scorpion. That's what I meant.
Yes. Yeah. He appeared previously in it was the first Spider-Man movie, right? Where when he breaks up the Vulture's crew, he was one of Vulture's crew.
Right. And then I think you saw him in some kind of like after credit scene or something. We've seen him before. I feel like we saw him in the first movie, but then he appeared somewhere else again.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I felt like we saw him.
remember.
If it's a cameo or something, I felt like we saw him again.
Yeah,
I mean, I
don't
like the
remember.
actor. I don't know what they're going to do
No, I
with
like
him.
the actor too. I think he's really good.
Yeah, he's a good actor. I don't know what.
And I don't mind the Scorpion suit here either. It doesn't feel wildly impractical. It doesn't feel ridiculous. Like I've always thought that the Scorpion thing seemed really stupid. The suit, mechanical suit that like he's like gets these superpowers and has this long tail and stuff. Like honestly, it was like there was both him and then there was the Rhino. Like they were both like dudes locked in power suits. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
But yeah, I will say, there's a lot of interesting stuff that they're doing here. I don't like that we have Bruce Banner in this. I could just do without Mark Ruffalo altogether.
I mean, it's so weird that we've reached a point that I just don't feel like seeing in a movie. And honestly, like, I'm so sorry to say this because as opposed to Ruffalo, which I always tell you that I never really rated him as an actor, it kind of makes me a little sad that Javier Bardem is like gradually putting himself in a similar position. Like, I really don't feel like hearing lectures all day. Like, it just annoys me, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like every time, not even only just at award ceremonies, any time that they interview him, like anywhere, Javier Bardem, like he just whines and whines and whines. It's like, dude, just shut up already. Is he even like an American citizen? What's he whining about? You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't know.
Like he doesn't live here. Nobody gives a shit about what like he has to say. I've never gotten up in the morning thinking, oh, I have to know all of like Javier Bardem's like deepest thoughts. Like I really don't need any of that. All you're being asked to do is to like take some lines that you've been given and read them. Now, some of them do it better than others, and the ones that do it well, good. That's what you want. But nobody ever signed an agreement that we then have to be lectured to in every place, and just annoying. Like once already, like an actor like whines and whines all day and all night. At the end, you see him on screen, and all you can think about is his whining.
Mm-hmm. When was the last compelling superhero movie that you guys watched? Because I feel like I watched this trailer and I feel nothing.
Tomac says Javier Bardem. Really, Javier Bardem. The past maybe 6 months, anytime he's walking anywhere and somebody gives him a microphone, spews like the craziest nonsense, and it's really like draining. He's basically he's walking the Mark Ruffalo path. The only thing he has going for him is that he's a better actor than Mark Ruffalo. Like that's the one thing he can hold on to is that he's a better actor than him. I'll give him that, but you know.
Yeah, so to me, like there's a lot to see in this trailer, a lot of stuff that's hinted at. It feels like there's too much. in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it's overstuffed. It's too many characters, too many plot lines going back and forth. It sounds like and there's not just so we do know that there's going to be whatever's going on in Peter's life with his his transformation, whatever. There's going to be the stuff that's going on with Zendaya and Ned. I'm not going to call her MJ because she's not MJ. She's just Zendaya. Then there's like him connecting with Bruce Banner. We also saw that he sees Frank Castle. We saw Mac Gargan, a Scorpion, in there. We also know that Tombstone, the character Tombstone, is going to be in the movie as well, played by Marvin Jones. We also know that Sadie Sink is in there somewhere. And it just feels like there's so much going on. I just don't know how they're going to fit it all in, how it's all going to make sense. I'm not saying they can't do it. If you want to talk batting averages, as far as the movies from Marvel that we've gotten, these Spider-Man films got a pretty good batting average, right? Like they've been overall pretty solid movies. But I don't know. This one feels different to me. Might be partly just because Marvel has been on such a just downward spiral over the last few years. The last Spider-Man movie was, it was a bump. It was better than a lot of the other stuff that was coming out. But surrounding that, everything since then has just been dreadful. I mean, we got a halfway decent Guardians of the Galaxy movie, right?
Yeah.
We got this, or the previous Spider-Man movie. And as far as just decent, watchable movie since Endgame, that's about it.
Yeah, no, we haven't had a lot of good stuff. And the other thing is, I mean, I hate to say it, but I think that the guy directing it isn't the guy that directed like Shang-Chi. Like Shang-Chi isn't the best movie in the world. It's not like I saw that and thought, wow, give this guy a Spider-Man movie.
It was trash.
So already not very excited that like they gave the Shang-Chi guy like Spider-Man to begin with. Honestly, I would have liked to have seen if they already rehired Sam Raimi for something, why didn't they bring him back to do a Spider-Man movie? And the other thing is that it's like you guys said, there's so much going on in the trailer that there's no emotional weight. Like a good trailer shows you he's now in his own life. There's a challenge that he has. You understand what the challenge is. I'd rather there be like one strong villain and one like challenge that he has to face. It's okay if you wanted one person here, if he needs to team up with a Punisher or somebody or Daredevil, or you do something, fine. You know what I mean? But I don't need like a million things. Like you said, Professor, it's too much. And that's what the trailer lacks. There's too much, oh, what about Zendaya? Boo-hoo. Oh, this, oh, that. Like, I don't know. There's nothing. I don't feel like this kind of like feeling that I got to rush to the theater to watch this. It's not like a shut up and take my money type of trailer.
Mm-mm.
No, I don't get that feeling from it at all.
It's like the type of trailer where you're like, well, I do like Spider-Man. That's
looks
that's it.
like the
That's your
cover.
only thought.
They're seriously referencing Spider-Man hard.
Well, not only does it look like that one cover, they also did the exact same pose in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, referencing that same cover. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole trailer feels like it's filled with just, remember Spider-Man?
Yep. Remember the hand?
Remember the costume? Remember the 70s?
Remember
when we
Zendaya?
destroyed Spider-Man the comic series by having to make a deal with the devil?
Honestly, I would have preferred Sam Raimi, and not only that, but let Sam Raimi also come and do his thing. I so would have wanted that the only thing that you see with Zendaya is maybe she has like the smallest cameo that from far away he sees her and just like makes a face and that's it. Never that's it. That's the most. Or he looks at a picture. He looks at a picture, sees her picture online and doesn't say anything or do anything. I think that that's the most. I really didn't need like any more Zendaya.
He's like the Wolverine meme where he's touching a picture of from the cartoon show. He's laying in bed and never mind. I'll be over here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few different issues. One, the whole MCU is in shambles, and there's nothing that like is really interconnecting and making you excited. So you have that problem. So when this trailer comes along, the brand health isn't strong to begin with. So the only way this would work is if as a standalone movie, this looks spectacular. And honestly, it doesn't look that spectacular.
Unspectacular Spider-Man.
The
unspectacular Spider-Man for sure. I do have I think I have the number one comic of like Peter Parker. Isn't it Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man?
I wouldn't know. I'm not a big comic collector.
I don't follow Spider-Man. There has been the Spectacular Spider-Man, but you're saying that you have a number one is like saying you have water. Like there's constantly a number one Spider-Man something.
Wait, no, I mean here's the thing. If you had the first like Amazing Spider-Man, that's like you're swimming in money. But I have like the first Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. It's an old one. It's something like, I know you're saying that they kept thinking. I'll show you what I have. It's this one here. Oh, I don't have a hardcover. I don't know what this is. Hold on. Okay, it's this one. Sharing this tab. Can you see it?
No, but I'll close mine and then we'll see it.
I believe this is the comic that I have. I haven't looked at it recently. I also truth be told, I haven't even read it because it's like all like nicely wrapped in the thing. I don't even think it's graded, but it is it's not a good idea to open it. I feel like I was supposed to get it graded and I forgot. So, yeah, the truth is, like, you really want this comic to be worth a lot because I have one. So you're like, oh, I wish it was worth a lot, but I think it's worth like 3 cents.
Well, Spider-Man is there protecting union rights, so that's important.
I don't know. It's just like, nobody takes the Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man comics seriously. So, unfortunately, it's probably worth 2 cents. Let me see. Does AI know if I ask how much?
If it doesn't know the answer, it'll make it up. When I do it, it's questionable.
How much is an original good condition? What is it? Peter Parker, the Spectacular.
$25 ungraded. 57 with an 8 graded. 71 at a 9 near mint 9.2. So.
And if you ever want to read it, do it before you get it graded.
Oh yeah, once it's graded, it's sealed away. Yeah.
So here, somebody is selling, let's say, this thing here. You see it? Somebody is selling it. The Spectacular Spider-Man 1976 CGC 9.8. They're selling it for $695 graded. That's kind of nice, I guess.
Yeah, it's graded 9.8 though is basically mint.
Right.
Like that's near perfect condition.
I have it in very good condition. I don't know if it's mint, but I have it in very, very good condition. That you'd think that if you graded it, it would be in the 9s.
Okay.
Would it be a 9.8? I don't know.
Yeah, if it's near mint, like a 9.2, look, ever shows any creases, any handling, any frayed corners or anything like that, it's going to be closer to a 9 or maybe down into an 8. And then from what I'm seeing, once it's below basically that perfect condition, you're talking about something more like 70 to $100.
You should probably, if you're going to look on eBay, you should look at ones that have sold. That way you'll know what people are willing to pay for it, not just what
that tells you
people
what
are
people will
asking
pay.
for.
Yeah, I was looking at something the other day and I was like, holy hell, what are they, why do they ask this much? What do they do? And then I actually was like, oh yeah, let me go look at some sold ones. And like some of them I think someone had been asking like $200 for something. And the most recent sell had been like $60.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh yeah, well, that's what people are actually paying for.
Well, I have one comic, that's actually, valuable.
I have a handful of them. A lot of them were very popular, at the time. So there's a lot of them out there on the market.
I'm saying I have like one comic that's worth something in general. It's not that one, but I have one comic that's worth something.
What is it?
You're the best, Sean. It is, I'll tell you what I have. I'll show it to you.
At first, I thought you were like, I have one comic, period.
Lasher says that a 9.8 would have white page, so it would have unyellowed pages. Yeah, so
okay, I'll show you what I have. Obviously, I'm not going to show you the one that I have, but I'll explain it to you in a second. How do I share it? Okay. Do you see it?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So I have this comic, but not only do I have this comic, it actually has some interesting signatures on it, making it, more interesting, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. You might have told us about this before.
So so that's like my big thing that I have this thing, but
it's a good one. It's a famous cover.
It is indeed. Yeah, it's a real famous one.
Yeah. You can get it for cheaper than this, when it comes to without the signatures. I think with the signatures, it makes it more interesting. Again, this isn't a situation that it's like The Amazing Spider-Man where the person has like millions of dollars. It's not like that. But all things considered, the thing is, I really like this. I've always liked this comic. So I love the cover of it,
Oh,
Sean,
yeah.
like,
It's a
you
great
do
art
comics.
piece.
You could only hope to have like such a good comic cover.
It's very simple too, so the fact that it resonates is like it's always
it's one of my favorites to date. Like I absolutely love this cover. Not gonna lie to you, Sean.
I would hope not.
He's looking into your soul.
He reminds me of me.
And metal knives that I taped to my hand.
No, but like I feel this is how I feel like this guy,
Hey kids, you want to see a dead body?
I'm gonna poke it with a stick.
I bet you that like there's probably cheaper. What's the cheapest you could get this? Let me see for a second.
They might have done a reprint of it.
Let me see. Yeah, they've done a bunch of things, but let me see I'm sure you can get this for a lot cheaper. Oh, they did do reprints. Is this one a reprint or is this the real one? Here. This one. This is so weird. $2.25. Oh, it's one of those bids. Sorry. Are you did you see anything or no?
Yeah, I see it.
So let me see. Some of these are reprints. Let me see what like.
I think on the cover they usually say facsimile, so then you'll know that it's not real.
So this one, I guess, like this doesn't look like it's a phony one. Oh, but it's CBCS 9.8. Who gets anything that's not like CGC?
Couldn't tell you the difference. I've never looked into it.
Well, let's look at this one, for example. See, this one is CGC 9.8, white pages, $959. And I'm sure, like, you could probably find it for, like, $500 or whatever it is. It does add a little value to have, like, some signatures on it. But if it's the people involved in making it, kind of adds a little bit. That one has several reprints. Yeah, Folsom Lockdown says that one has several reprints. You're right, but I don't know. This seems like the real one. So I guess if you're looking to buy the real one, it's probably between $500 to like, $1,000. Well, some of them wanted more, but I think you can reasonably get it $500 to $1,000. A few signatures, maybe you can add a little bit of money to that. But again, even the most expensive one. You know what? Nobody cares about this, but I'm gonna do it. Let's see what the expensive one is. Are you ready, Sean?
Oh, my body's ready.
What the fanciest one is. Okay, so first of all, we got this. Now, you got $39,500. You get like 1, 2, 3, and 4, all in CGC 9.9. Not 9.8, 9.9. But you know what? I'm kind of suspicious. How did all 4 of these get 9.9? You know how difficult it is to get a 9.9?
Pretty difficult.
It's almost like, I don't want to say that you need like an inside man for this, but like I've done something before that involved like grading and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I'll tell you a secret. I shouldn't tell you, but I'll tell you anyways.
It's the middle of the night.
So it's the middle of the night. So I have a comic like this, and I wanted like Frank Miller to sign it. I have a few signatures on it that I collected over time, and I wanted Frank Miller to sign it. And I went to a convention that Frank Miller was there. Now, what happened was, and this was the first time that I attempted to do something like this. It's already, some time ago. It's not yesterday. So if you want him to sign it, mine was already graded. Okay, I had a 9.8 grading. Are you guys with me?
Mm-hmm.
I had a 9.8 grading, and I wanted him to sign it. Now, at the time, I didn't realize that the second that they open it, I risk that it won't be 9.8 anymore. There's no guarantee that once they open it and he signs, and you want to put it in another case again like this, there's no guarantee that it'll be 9.8.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically said to me, like, I was all just happy-go-lucky and like, yeah, let's do it. They're opening it up. Like the CGC had representatives. They opened it up. Frank Miller or whatever it was going to sign it. And I'm like, great, whatever. And then I'm just like, great. And then like you'll put it back and it's like 9.8. And they're like, wait a minute. We don't guarantee what it'll be when we put it back. Like, well, obviously, if it's 9.8, it's 9.8. But if something, we can't guarantee that. And I only heard that once they had already opened it, and it's on its way to Frank Miller. So there's nothing I could do at this point. And I was really nervous. Like, I was kind of losing sleep. I'm like, what if it comes back and it's not 9.8 anymore? Like, what if he signs it and it's 9.6 now?
What if he sneezes on it?
Yep. I also, I'm going to tell you another little secret here. I told him, like, I recommended where the guy would sign it. And I feel like in the exact place I didn't want him to sign it, that's where he signed it.
Nice.
Like, nobody even cares.
Is it across his eyeballs?
And
was it across his eyeballs?
I think it was like on his, something that was like on his like forehead or whatever. I didn't want it there. I wanted like, I thought it was kind of, I really wish he would have signed it somewhere else, but whatever.
Sign the clause, Frank.
Yeah, really.
So, yeah, once you crack it open, you don't know what's going to happen.
What happened?
See that Spider-Man at the bottom? That's a direct buy. You want the barcode for added value. I don't understand.
Okay, so when you get the little Spider-Man symbol there, that means it's a direct buy. It's one that was not actually for sale through a retailer. If it's one where it has the barcode on it, that means it was actually one that went to a regular retailer's purchased, like, off the shelf.
Well, now I'm curious which one I have.
I'm curious what grading yours came back as.
It came back as 9.8. But tell some jokes for a second. I want to see if mine is the Spider-Man or not. Hold on.
What's a pirate's favorite letter?
R?
You'd think it was the R, but it's really the C. All right, that's all I got. He's not back yet.
Yeah. So if it's a direct buy or direct edition, those are sold directly through comic book shops directly to customers, like customers that come in and like have their pull list, their order list, or whatever. It's not one that went to a
7-Eleven.
Yeah, it's not one that went to a traditional like newsstand kind of thing. So the newsstand ones that are in good shape, those are much rarer than the direct editions that are in good shape.
Mm.
That's what Lasher was saying.
No doubt.
All right, I got some good news for you.
I don't think I have any direct editions of anything.
I have it's a Spider-Man one.
Okay, so it's a direct edition.
I
It just
have a
means
direct
that
edition.
having it in high quality, in really good shape, is just not as rare as having one that was a newsstand copy with the barcode that's in excellent shape.
So I wanted the barcode or I wanted the Spider-Man?
The barcode is rarer.
So throw it away. Start over.
Yeah, just throw it out. No, just kidding. No. So the ones that have the little Spider-Man symbol instead of the barcode or whatever the picture is down there, those is what I was saying while you were gone, Price. That means it's a direct edition. It's direct buy. That means it was shipped directly to a specialty comic book store. And usually, like if you go and you have a pull list of the comic book store or whatever, that's what they're buying. They're buying these direct buy things because they're not actually going to be putting most of their stuff on a shelf and then scanning it, the barcode in to sell it to somebody. The ones that have the barcodes are the ones that like go to a more traditional newsstand. And so getting those in really high quality is much rarer than getting the direct buys in really high, really high grades.
Nerds are so exhausting.
Yeah. So there's a Wolverine there that's got the barcode on it. Yeah.
Let me see for a second. This one, has some signatures on it, and they're
Signed by Lee, Miller, Ween, and Romita.
Let's see. Chris Claremont, John Romita, Stan Lee,
Len Wein,
Joe Rubenstein, Herb Trimpe, Louis Simonson, Jim Shooter, Frank Miller. Does it have Len Wein on it?
Oh, the one below it does.
The one below it? But am I sharing? Oh, sorry. I wanted to share this.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So this one has, it's 11,500 and it's worth, it has Chris Claremont, John Romita, Stan Lee, Joe Rubenstein, Herb Trimpe, Louis Simonson. Louise Simonson was married to one of these guys, and then she divorced him. I think, right?
Oh, I don't remember.
Professor? Jim Shooter?
I couldn't
Frank
tell you.
Miller. So yeah, I this is a very fancy one. I have a few signatures, but it's not all of these. This is like a big deal if you have all these signatures.
11,000. Big deal.
What'd you say?
Oh, an 11,000 big deal.
Yeah, no, mine isn't that much of a big deal, but now I get it. This one's a newsstand one. So the newsstand one is the one that has the barcode.
Yes.
And it's 9.8.
And
Is
it's
that
got a bunch of
considered more
signatures on it.
impressive?
I think having the newsstand ones in a really good condition is just more rare.
I hope they didn't sign in Sharpie. Sharpie tends to green over time.
Oh, yeah.
But let's see for a second. Signed and sketched Joe Rubenstein, okay. Jim Shooter, Chris Claremont, Louise Simonson, Frank Miller, John Romita, But they said here in the thing, it said that Stan Lee signed it, but I don't see Stan Lee signing it. This is false. Do you know what I'm saying? If it's only it doesn't say Stan Lee on the signatures. This is false advertising, Professor.
What is that one?
Hey, it does say that looks like Stan Lee down there at the bottom.
Down bottom right.
Yeah.
That's not it.
But why is it not? Okay, let's see for a second. Signed and sketched by Joe Rubenstein. Signed by Jim Shooter, Chris Claremont, Louise Simonson, Frank Miller, John Romita, Roy Thomas, and I think I know what happened. Are you guys ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
They probably got Stan Lee initially to sign it years earlier without like the CGC. So it's like a rogue Stan Lee. And then they added all the other people with the CGC, but they never confirmed the Stan Lee one.
Yeah. You can see, yeah, because those are confirmed. If you look at the thing, there's also it lists Lin Wein when he's not listed in that list at the top either.
Okay, 1 second. Does it actually give you the information? Why doesn't it have like, why doesn't it tell me this kind of information? It's very important, Professor. Oh, item specifics. Okay.
Yeah.
It's sort of I feel like they're false advertising. They needed to say the truth here. This is a sham, Professor. It's true though.
It's a sham.
Okay. Let's see this one.
It's a fake.
Let's see.
You're right. Just throw it away.
This one, it says signed by Stan Lee. So I know that it's real. It's on the CGC, it says. They're selling it for $3,800, I guess.
And they'd never lie.
Oh, it's $2,765 US. No, I mean, generally speaking, if you already see it on the thing for the CGC, then it's real. But Stan Lee, like he did it on his eyes. It's even worse than what happened with me. It was like the worst place he could sign it. Stan really wasn't cool here.
This is like Stan spitting in your eye.
Probably this guy annoyed him. Oh well. And then let's look at this final one. This one looks like it's a good quality. They keep signing. I don't like when they sign on his face, I think that's what happened to mine as well. It has Chris Claremont, Stan Lee, Jim Shooter, John Romita, Frank Miller, and Joe Rubenstein. I have something that kind of is reminiscent of this, but not as many signatures. Let's put it that way.
Nice.
So mine, I guess, if this is worth $2,778, maybe mine is like worth $2,000. Oh well. I mean, it's fine. It's good to have something, I guess, right?
Sure.
Do you collect any comics, Sean?
Not like, I don't know, old ones and stuff. Yes, I have a lot.
No, I've never really been a big comic collector. I used to read them quite a bit, when I was younger, but I held on to a handful of them. I knew most of them were never going to be worth anything. I had a friend years and years ago that was a huge comic collector. And I basically said, yeah, hey, you know what? I'm moving out of the house. I'm packing up my stuff. I got this stack of comics. I'll split it. If anything in here is worthwhile, I'll split it with you. And I just said, here you go. And so I gave him a whole stack of them. He looked through them. He found 2 or 3 that were worth more than $5. And I said, keep the money. It's fine. I don't care.
Oh, I do have the animated Batman comic that was apparently
Batman
Harley's
Adventures.
Harley's first appearance.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
have a sort of beat up one from my childhood. I just bought it because
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, I have one that is an old. I mean, it is in tattered condition, but that is because I have had it since I was only 2 years old when I got the chicken pox.
Nice.
And my dad bought it for me at a gas station on his way home as a little like, hey, here you go, kid. Sorry you're not feeling well kind of thing. And so
Yeah.
I've held on to it forever. It's got like crayon doodle on the inside of it and everything. But it's like, hey, here's this old Star Wars comic book from from way back when.
I've got a lot of, well, it's why I used to call my channel Random Back Issue Comics, because I always had random issues of random titles, and I didn't really read them because we would get comics like so sporadically that I just appreciated the artwork for the most part. So I have some old Spider-Man comics like that, but I never read them. I mostly I have lots of Dark Horse Star Wars comics and more newer stuff since I was going to the store for like the last however many years just to read stuff.
You have Tag and Bink?
I have them in like the omnibuses and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I had a friend
Yeah.
who had the original, who bought those when they originally came out. He was big into Dark Horse. And when the
Yeah.
Dark Horse started doing Star Wars stuff, he bought up just everything that they had. So when I originally read what was that series? The Dark Jedi? No, Dark Empire.
Dark Empire.
Dark Empire series. It was his issues that I read.
Nice. We actually got those off of QVC back in the day, the 6 issues with the gold foil stamped logos.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still trying to find some of the Dark Horse stuff. Like the what was it? The Dawn of the Jedi stuff when that came out. I was kind of not into how it looked, but now it's impossible for me to find and it drives me crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think it's a good time for us to start talking about the movie.
Yeah, man.
If you don't want spoilers, Sean.
Yep,
you have to.
I gotta see it Saturday, so.
All right, we won't.
Hey, thanks for joining us tonight, Sean. It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, I'll try to make it more often. I always say that, but then I end up working ridiculous
you
amounts.
gotta pay the bills, man.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Lasher 5520 says, "Price, what did you pay for it?" I think that I paid something, I want to say something between maybe 700 and 800, but it was CGC 9.8 and already had a few very important signatures on it. So already I would say that it's worth more than when I bought it. But it's not $1 million, you know what I mean? Maybe it's worth 3 times what I got it for. But I kind of got it because I just always really liked the comic. The truth is, I just want to tell you what happened, and then we'll talk about this movie. What happened is that when I was a kid, I had that comic, and I loved it. And I actually read it, and it was like, I opened it and all that kind of stuff. And then I lost the comic. It was in some attic somewhere, and I couldn't find it, even though it wasn't in good quality. So I just said, well, I'll just replace it. I'll go online, and I'll buy whatever's poor quality. I'll just buy one, and that's the one that I'll have. And then it's really what I intended to do. But something, I was already not a kid anymore that I'm asking somebody to give me a few dollars to buy a comic. Now I'm an adult. So I started looking at it and I'm like, well, I could spend a few more dollars. And what if it was like mint? It was like 9.8. And then I said, okay, maybe I'll do that. And that was maybe a few $100s. So I'm like, okay, I'll splurge. And then I suddenly looked and it's like signed by this, signed by that. And I'm like, oh, all right.
A dangerous web.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that it's like, it's something bad to say, like, that Stan Lee is one of the signatures on it. So I don't know. I figure like I already have like Stan Lee, and I already told you I have like Frank Miller, and it's on the comic book that I liked, and now it's in good condition. So yeah, the adult in me took over, like, and pushed or the adult with me merged with the child in me, and I'm like, screw it, I'll just buy one that's good, like, and I'll have it, like, it'll be awesome, and it's like be a collector's item. But even with all of that, there's much bigger collector's item,
Your
and I think
inner
it's the only time that I really kind of like, splurged on a comic. If I didn't lose the original, I wouldn't even be in the position that I'm at now. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yep.
It was just me losing that one, and as an adult, I got greedy.
Your inner Disney adult
Yep.
pushed your inner child to the side.
Right.
I had one that got stolen. Actually, friend borrowed it and then never brought it back, and I was pissed. And so years later, I picked up a copy of it on eBay. I mean, it was like $7. It wasn't a big, but it was like, damn it, I like that. I want that comic back. And so I went and found a copy in decent shape on eBay and bought it. It wasn't a particularly notable comic, but it was a Spider-Man one that had a foil cover because he had a new spider armor or whatever that he wore on the cover, and it was a cool foil cover. And I was like, damn it, I still want that. I just want to have that. And so I found one that was in decent shape but still cheap on eBay.
Yep. All right. Well, until Price starts paying his co-hosts, I gotta go get kind of work tomorrow. So
I wish I could. I wish like we were in the position where like, well,
That'd
we
be
do have a
great.
few super chats, so that's
Yeah,
a
we can
step
do
in the
that.
right direction.
All right, but I'm gonna take off before you ruin this movie for me.
All right. Well, thank you, Sean. It was always great to see you, and it's been a while, so it's nice that you stopped by.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Have a good night.
Good night.
Take
I
care.
think we have a few super chats, so let me just look
Yeah.
at them, and then we'll do the movie. So somebody stole a comic from me also. You know that?
There it is. That was the one.
Which one was it?
This is this one right here. It was a slick foil cover.
Wait, hold
and
on.
it
a
had
second.
Spider-Man in the spider armor. And not that it was particularly a notable issue or anything like that.
It looks
but-
pretty cool though. I
but
would've
it
been
was I was
annoyed.
just like, damn it. Like it pisses me off that somebody stole that that issue off of me. Or borrowed it and never gave it back. And so I had to go out and find a copy of it just so I could have one.
I was once. I shouldn't say this. I shouldn't say it, but I will anyways. When I was young, I was at a summer camp, and I don't really remember why, but I used to play poker with people at summer camp,
Mm-hmm.
and we would play poker for comics. And I think that in a poker game, I won a comic that I thought it was like the first time the Amazing Spider-Man has like a black suit. I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was an important issue, and I won that comic fair and square. But then, throughout the day, I don't know what happened, and by the end of the day, the comic was gone. And I feel like the person that lost it in the poker game was a sore loser. And instead of like admitting that he lost, that I beat him at poker, and I won the game fair and square, he was a sore loser and he stole it back. I mean, I don't know. It's not
Yeah.
not very honorable if you played poker and you lost the comic. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying, Professor?
Yeah, you don't welch on a bet. Even if
Right.
it's-
I
even
mean,
if it's a game of poker.
if you didn't think that you wanted to bet this comic in a poker game, don't do that. I was probably better when I was a kid. I was better at poker than I am now. What was it that we were? Oh, okay.
Super
Sorry.
chats.
Super chats. Yeah. I think it's this one. So we have from Jason Webster. He said that Eric Bana was way better as Bruce Banner. I think I said that, but if I didn't, I'm saying it now. And then we had. I grew up reading a little of Batman, Spider-Man, and Iron Man. I was drawn more towards satire, Mad and Cracked. You know, I had Mad magazines. I still have a stash of a lot of old Mad magazines. They're not in mint condition. They're the opposite of mint condition. They're probably all in poor condition. I have them in somewhere stored somewhere. I also have a lot of these old Nintendo Power, also not in good condition, unfortunately. Cracked for me was always like a 2-bit Mad. It wasn't as good as Mad. Mad was always the superior. Like Cracked was like, when you don't have Mad, then like you get Cracked and it's not as good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I had very little Batman. I liked Batman, but I didn't have a lot of it. Spider-Man I had. Iron Man, I wouldn't say I had, maybe there's some comic that he appears in, but I didn't have like a lot of Iron Mans or anything. Mad, yes. Spider-Man, yes. I will say. And thank you for the $5, Jason Webster, and for the $2, and for the Dead Man who, again, I really hope Project Hail Mary is good. Please don't spoil it. Sorry, Sean. We won't, again, we'll start without spoiling anything, but I guess now we should start talking about it. Are you ready, Professor?
Yeah, actually, we've got Mark D with a C. He's in the chat, and I saw he had seen this earlier today, so I'm going to shoot him over an invite.
Cool.
And
yeah,
he can hop in and we can chat about.
Sounds good to me.
So
You know what?
That's in the DMs there, Mark.
You know what's funny, Professor? You just read my mind. When I saw him in the chat, I thought to myself, I wonder if he saw the movie. And the second I thought that, you said what you just said.
Well, I had actually seen when I was looking at X earlier the day while we were talking, I saw he was doing for out of the theater reactions on his stream. I was like, oh, so Mark got to see it today. Great.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's cool. I wasn't sure. The reason I didn't say it is that I wasn't sure that he saw it, and I thought maybe he saw it, and then you said it, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, let's see here. We'll pull up some.
He's
some
welcome. We can do
some images here.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, Mark will be here in just a moment. So what about how about your just overall reactions, Bryce?
Well, I mean, the overall reaction is that I would say that it was rather enjoyable.
Okay.
Like the thing is that sometimes when a movie gets really hyped, I want to like love it. I want this to be like, an unprecedented epic movie for me. Did I think that it was like the best movie I'd ever seen? I wouldn't give it like that kind of category. It's not like, man, like I can't believe that this is like the best thing ever. Did I think it was a pretty good movie, and did I have a good time at the theater? Yes. And not even like that I thought, oh, like it barely gets a pass. Sometimes I tell you, it barely gets a passing grade or whatever, like I'm just grumpy and get through it. I genuinely thought this was a pretty good movie. I think that there were ways maybe in terms of, the editing and pacing and a few things that could have been done better with the movie. But overall, as a cinematic experience, I came in, I enjoyed what I saw, and it was definitely, if nothing else, a pretty good movie. How did you feel about it?
Yeah, so I mean, I would say that overall, I was quite happy with the movie. I definitely have some complaints. As you know, for me, having read the book myself, obviously I have a different perspective coming in than you do, Bryce, since I read the book, and I'm a big fan of the book too. So there were even some things when I was talking about it with my family that I was like, oh, there was this thing, and I didn't like the way that they handled it in the movie versus the way that they handled it, in the books. And they were like, well, what do you mean? And I was like, oh, well, they did this, and they there was this other thing they didn't do, and whether they're like, oh yeah, I remember that. And specifically, I would say the ending of the film I was not as happy with as the ending in the books, but we're not going to get to that. No spoilers or anything at the moment. Overall, I was really happy with it. There were, as I said, a number of places where I don't know. I wasn't as happy with it as far as comparing it to the book, but just treating it as the film that it was, and everything that we had there, I was really really happy with it, and I think this is going to do really well in the theaters overall. So, um,
I hope so because we complain so much that you don't just sit and watch this nice kind of escapist sci-fi movie, and I think that this movie delivers that. I didn't feel that it was like overly weird woke, like a bunch of aggressive messaging or whatever. I felt like this was a movie that you want to watch, a nice escapist movie that's sci-fi, and you get exactly that. And it was pretty well made. There were even some like moments that were even a little even heartfelt or something like that, like even emotional. And there was a lot of things I liked. I will say this, that I think that somewhere maybe in the second act there were some parts that I thought maybe dragged a little bit, that maybe the pacing could have been quicker. Prior to seeing the movie, I saw that the runtime is like 2 hours and 26 minutes. I also was concerned. I thought, well, Ryan Gosling, I don't like him in every role. I thought that he was pretty good in the role. He didn't ruin it for me. So I thought he was pretty good. Not every role is good for him, but I didn't think that this was a bad role for him. So he was all right. And the pacing, there's parts in the second act that I would have picked it up a little bit. Maybe it could have been a 2 hour movie instead of like 2 hours and 26 minutes. But overall, I thought it was pretty well made, and I found myself rather enjoying it.
Yep.
Like, I'm suffering saying that. Is Mark D with a C here?
I think he's getting set up.
I
You
see.
guys, I'm in the
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We can see you. Since with Rumble Studio, you either have to have the camera on or you have to have like an OBS thing or whatever.
Well,
But
you put his picture. so
I can throw your picture up here.
I can. Oh, I can do I can do my OBS camera. Hold on. Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, sorry, it's the first time in the Rumble stream.
No,
Hey.
it's fine.
I'm like, how do I change my avatar here? Like, but I guess everyone can hear me, obviously. Then, right? Thank you.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. I'll start OBS. I don't know if OBS will let me do my avatar here. We'll see. But no, yeah, I really enjoyed it too. I thought, yeah, I agree with Price. It was maybe a little bit drawn out in a couple of spots, but kind of like it's in some ways an homage to 2001, but it didn't really copy any of the elements directly. I know people complain that 2001 is too slow and a lot of it, but it just it's so groundbreaking. But I really really enjoyed this movie, and I just like the the science behind and the realism. It looks very grounded. The spaceship that they take out there is not it looks like something that we would build today, kind of like the space station where it's in pieces and
Yeah. Good. Well, they would have had to build it out of like components that they had. Like that's when you read the book. Did you read the book, Mark?
I didn't read the book,
Okay.
and one reason was because I read The Martian, and Andy Weir owes me a night of good sleep because I started reading the book at like 7:00, and I read it through the night till like 6 a.m. I could not put the book down; it was that good, and that happens once in a while, but not that often. And I was the movie's good, but I was kind of disappointed by it because it's got so much more in the book that and you can't really cover all that the book covers. So it wasn't that the movie was bad, but there's just so much more in the book. And of course, Damon's character, he's basically alone, as the astronaut on Mars. So the inner monologues are much easier in a book like that. I shouldn't say easier, but translates better.
I saw somebody, actually it was funny. I saw someone having a conversation and I mentioned that this, they were talking about comparing this to The Martian. And I said it was The Martian, except he has a pet.
Right?
Because once again, it's a scientist who's trapped on their own and has to work through all these problems and do it. But this time around, he actually like has someone to talk to. And so, I mean, it is in the trailers, if nobody's, obviously you don't get into spoilers, but it is in the trailers that he does encounter an alien. The alien's name is the nickname he gives him is Rocky. He is, is an alien from a completely other star system. He's a, rock, basically moving rock animal. And he
related to Ben Grimm, the Thing.
Yes, yeah. And the way that they do, I honestly, the way that they portrayed Rocky in the film, excellent, absolutely
wonderful,
amazingly well done.
I agree.
It's my understanding that it was mostly practical, that they actually made a puppet.
Oh, I was going to ask, because I didn't look it up. So it was basically a practical.
Yeah, it was mostly practical. It was a puppet. It was like animatronic kind of thing, and then they augmented that with the CGI. Obviously, there's some scenes in the film where he's moving very freely, or around through the scene and stuff. And that would obviously have to be CGI. But even when it was CGI, there was never a time when I was like, ew, that's sloppy looking, right? It did where it didn't look very good. It was very, very well done, and you can clearly tell that a lot of what they did with the sets, with the characters, was all as practical as they could get it, which I really liked. It made everything feel very, very real, lived in. There's scenes where you see him because he's by himself in this spacecraft, and there's just crap everywhere. part of the problem is that, well, I mean, he's just a dude by himself. Why should he clean up after himself? But at the same time, the ship changes orientations. It that's something they do show that a bit in the trailers, but it's explained in extensive detail in the books. There's a science module that there's a bunch of the scientific instruments that simply cannot function in 0G, and so it is in the movie. There's a real brief little line in there where they're like, "Oh, well, we've got people working on making all of these scientific instruments so they'll work in 0G." And they're like, "That's going to take years. We're launching in weeks. Okay, like it's not going to happen. We have to find a way to do this." And so they have this the way of making the ship so that it rotates, so you get centrifugal force, and so then you get a part of the ship that actually has gravity, and so they can do the scientific experiments and stuff there. I liked that a lot. I thought that was interesting. They used it a little bit differently. It worked a little bit differently than it did in the books, but not to a point where I was like, "That's dumb," or "There's that's silly." So what did you think about Ryan Gosling in this role?
I thought he was really good in this role because I kind of detached him from his other roles. Sometimes where actors get pigeonholed, or you just like, if it's The Rock, right? Not to pick on The Rock, I like The Rock, but or Jason Momoa, that are kind of over the top. It's like, Momoa is basically like Lobo, right? So I thought that I didn't, think of him as another character. He just really did a nice job, and his character's a little bit meek in some ways, as kind of a bookish scientist nerd. So I thought he was able. He didn't pull me out of the role. He was believable, and he kind of disappeared into that role. I thought quite well, and I think he was a strength of the movie because if, like you said, he's on it. He's solo most of the time, and then he's interacting with Rocky, who's this non-humanoid.
It's probably his best performance to date.
I would agree with that. Yeah. I mean, he definitely is not Ken in this one, right?
I mean, no, he's not Ken in this one. No, this one I thought that he did okay. Also, I think, see, the fact that he was sort of a guy that was pulled into this, and I won't do a spoiler, but he was sort of like, not initially itching to do this, and he was kind of that dude that just ended up there. I think that in that case, Ryan Gosling, his just natural vibe is usually this kind of subdued, more low-key guy, and I think that that's why it suited him. Meaning, if it was a guy that was too like confident, arrogant, or full of bravado, it wouldn't have worked for whatever they're trying to go for with this character. In this one case, him being a little more kind of like, low key, maybe this was a good one, and that's why I think that the role worked. More likable in this role than a lot of other stuff that he did. Do I still think that there could have been maybe another actor that would do it at least as well, if not maybe in some cases better? It's possible, but I didn't think he ruined the movie, and I think he did. He was it was a decent role for him. He didn't ruin it for me.
Yeah,
And coming from me, that's saying a lot.
Yeah, I thought he fit this just fine. I didn't have any problem with Ryan Gosling in this. Again, we're avoiding spoilers, but you've seen it in the trailers. Most people have seen it in the, the promotional shots and stuff. He's not an astronaut, right? He's not somebody who's been training to go into space his whole life. He's a middle school teacher, right?
He doesn't have the right stuff.
No, he does not.
Exactly.
He's a scientist, in some ways a failed scientist, because he was not able to really live his life in the scientific community. So where he has a PhD and everything, he's teaching in a middle school. And there's even a joke, and they have it in the trailer, where he's like, I ride a bike to work, and not because not because I need the exercise.
Yeah.
He can't afford a car. He can't afford, it's because he's saving money. There's some funny little bits in there. I honestly think he works really well in this role. He never took me out of it, him playing it. So yeah, I think that was, are there other actors that we could work with that could have done this? I'm sure there are, but this choice was fine. There's no issue there, I think, with Ryan Gosling in this role. Let's see. Oh, there's Andy Weir, his book. Wondering if there's any more shots of the actual thing. Did you guys get to see it in IMAX? We got to see it.
I think I saw it in just a regular old theater.
I got to see as I always love to say, Dolby Digital.
Dolby, nice.
With the reclining seats and the
nice.
The Dolby Theater is I shouldn't say better than the IMAX, but most of the IMAXs are like mini IMAXs, or not.
Yeah,
real
ours
IMAXs.
is a mini IMAX. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Dolby, I think, is a better presentation where I am, and it doesn't have the reclining seats.
Yeah, the Dolby theaters are fantastic. Yeah, those are really good.
Really, really great. And the
Top
sound
quality.
is just wonderful. So they had the IMAX theater there first, and then they added the Dolby after. So I mean, if you can afford it, and B, find one of those Dolby or IMAX theaters.
My kids were not happy. They both have some sensory issues. So the really loud music, really loud in the IMAX stuff is a little much for them sometimes. And I said, guys, you're gonna tough it out, because this has been shot for IMAX. This is gonna look special in the IMAX theater. And my daughter, after the first little bit, she was fine with it. My son had some plugs in his ears for how loud it was.
It wasn't
for a while, but it wasn't that bad.
Quiet though, too, right?
I mean, most of it was fairly quiet. It was just right up near the beginning was there's some pretty loud stuff, and then there is later on when they're doing some of the maneuvers in space around the planet and stuff. There were some loud bits. I did like, though, that when they're actually showing, they're actually taking a look at what's going on, what's happening in space, that they was just silent. Right. They didn't throw in all the crazy noises and stuff like that. When you're indoors, when you're inside the ship, things are banging and, stuff all over the place. But yeah, for the most part, they kept it quiet outside. This was an addition, this area that they have here where they can create vistas of Earth or whatever. This was not in the books at all.
Books, okay.
No. Here's when he wakes up.
Is that I guess how closely do they follow the book in this translation here, adaptation?
Oh, how close did they fall? It's pretty close. It's pretty close. I would say that it might even suffer a little bit from being kind of slavish to the book. I think, we talked about, it might be a little too long.
Okay.
That I think that there's a lot of trimming that could have been done to make this the pace of the movie pick up and go a little bit.
Especially in the second act, because I think
Yes.
in the first act, you're establishing what he's doing, what happened, how he got there. You're learning more, so I think that's fine. The third act, I felt like was moving at a reasonable pace. You're already in the movie. You're invested. It's that second act that, between him until he finds the alien, Rocky, and then starts communicating with him. I felt that there were a few moments there, especially leading up to it. They could have just speeded it up. If it was a movie that was like 90 minutes, I would have said, well, they can't speed it up. But once the movie is like 226 minutes,
Yeah.
let's say with credit, it's like, 250, 2 hours and 15 minutes. This could have easily been like, instead of 2 hours and 15 minutes plus the credit, it could have been 2 hours plus the credits.
Yeah, I think they could have easily trimmed 20 minutes out of this. There was a lot of time that they spent with just the two characters, with him and Rocky, which, while those times were kind of fun and you learned a little bit more about the characters, you learned more about his history, and it gave them time to connect to each other. I just felt like there was just too much of that, right? It could have been written to be more economical. You could have gotten the same insights, the same background. You could have gotten a lot of the same emotional beats, but done it more economically than they did. Again, this is not damning this movie at all. This is a really good film. I enjoyed it a lot. If there were any complaints at all, and I think we've all kind of mentioned this, like if there's any complaint at all, it could have been cut back a little bit. The pace, I think you said, like, especially in the second half or second act, could have had some work done to it to keep it moving, so it didn't feel like it's
That's the only thing that
dragging.
kind of, it's a shame because I think that with a tighter second act and just a quicker pacing, I think that this movie, if I had to score it, and I still have to think what score I would give it a few extra points. That's the kind of thing that where like it drops a few points, but it's not one of those that like, oh, I gave it a 60. Like it'll be something okay, but it's not like, it's not, it's a pretty good movie, but it's not like for me, it's not an excellent movie. It's a pretty good movie. Now, pretty good, considering the garbage that I've had, I keep seeing in movie theaters for I don't know how long. Pretty good is very welcome. You know what I mean? Like if all movies were pretty good, we'd be in a really, really, good situation. So it's by no means, it's not a bad movie, but I don't think that it's perfect either.
No, it unfortunately, yeah, it is, like I said, there's some places where it struggles, but overall, I think really enjoyable, and definitely the best thing I've seen so far this year, without a doubt.
Yeah,
and I do think it is going to do really well in the theaters. For the most part, it's very family friendly, other than probably just being a little too long. It's pretty family friendly. There are some there's some dark conversations that are had because of some of the situation that they're in, and essentially, I mean, I don't think this is spoiling anything, as it says in the trailer. This is a matter of life or death for pretty much everyone on Earth. They're facing a threat. That's the reason that they've sent these people out into space, is they are facing a threat that could end all life on Earth, and so they've got to find some solution to it. That's kind of dark when they're having conversations like that, and then there's some other stuff in there as well that can be kind of dark. Oh, it looks like Mark's got his camera working. Fantastic.
He just needs to click that button that unmutes the mic. Okay, yeah, he's doing it.
I had to go into Chrome and reset my settings and delete cookies like 6 times.
Whoops.
Let me in. Yeah, like, no, your is not allowed.
Well, you're better off than Robot Head was earlier tonight. His EV Mux just blew up in his face while we were trying to start his show tonight. Poor guy.
I hear EV Mux is complicated. Yeah.
Well, and too, like sometimes it works and other times it just decides it doesn't want to work. So yeah, it's
right.
I don't know. I do love. I did like seeing Ryan Gosling throughout all of the flashback scenes in these just horrid sweaters. Like, cracks me up. Like, again, like, is that all you have? You're so poor. Like, the only thing you have is these awful sweaters to wear. Like,
yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're showing he's not that successful, though. I mean, yeah, he's just a high school teacher, but like in our state, teachers are very well paid. I don't know where, they didn't really say where he was living, but it kind of infers like he had this career as a scientist and it flamed out, without getting into spoilers.
Yeah,
but
the studio, the theater, there was some out loud laughs in the theater during this particular scene where it is shown a bit in the trailer where he's basically saying, I'm here because I'm expendable, aren't I? And they're all like, yes. It would be preferable if you did not die.
yeah.
The consensus is it would be preferable if you did not die.
Yeah, so this is where he's on Earth and he's doing an experiment. Obviously,
yes,
so it's not a spoiler, but something could be dangerous about what he's doing, and they're well, I'm thinking of the series Pluribus, which I really liked, and of course that big plot point of that is they're doing an experiment and everything escapes and it all goes wrong. The safeguards there, so they are following the quote unquote lab protocols and things here too. But
quickly, I just want to answer Jason Webster. It would be for me at least a 7.5. It could be more. I just have to think about it. But I think that 7.5 at least this movie would get for me, in my opinion. And I don't give a lot of good grades. Like, I'm very stingy when it comes to good grades. So 7.5 may not seem like much to you, but it's not bad for me.
And then we got a question from Istophobos too, directed at me. It says, "Were you disappointed though? I get the impression it wasn't as good as you were hoping it would be." Yeah, disappointed. I don't think I would say disappointed. I really did want this to be just like an amazing film because it is an amazing book. It is one of my favorite science fiction books that I've read in quite some time. It does have a lot of great science fiction stuff in it. It has a lot of great humor in it and some great human moments. And I think most of that translated to the screen. I think one of the problems might have been that they were a little too slavish to the book. Perhaps they needed to open some stuff up, shorten some things. And they did. I will say they absolutely did. There's one particular scene, in fact, when we were in the theater and my son was like, wow, that was quick, because they spend like an hour on it. If you're listening and reading the book, there's like an hour's worth of content in there during this one particular moment. And they're just like, oh yeah, we've got these things and they're ready to go. It's like, oh, what? Okay. Fantastic, because it was in the book, as there's a whole long process that they go through of iterating things and trying different things and whatever. And in this, they're just like, nope,
make it work, right? Yeah,
it's yep. Oh, Rocky made those things for us, so we're good to go. It's off you go, right?
So, Jason Webster, I saw that you actually asked that, and then you said 7.5 out of 10, but you also gave a super chat for $2. And I also want to say, respond to what Professor said, basically, I feel like this movie, and I think I said it, it could have been a very good movie, and I think it was a pretty good movie. Now, do I want to be greedy and say, well, they could have made a few things different and made it a very good movie? Could I dwell on that? I could say that, but the truth is that, like I said, if all the movies I went to the theater to see were pretty good, I would be in a pretty good mood. Like this stands above a lot of movies I've seen. So again, I'm not going to say that it's the best movie I've ever seen, but I think that it's pretty good. It's a good time at the theater. I thought that it didn't seem to lecture me. It wasn't trying to make me miserable. There was something about it that that delivered the general thing that it's supposed to deliver. It delivered. It may not have been a flawless execution, but it wasn't bad either. So somebody said something about The Drinker. Did he say he liked it? I don't even know. People are going to hate me when I say this from the Real Head Case. Just because a critical drinker said it was good a long time ago doesn't mean it is. Did he say a long time ago it was good? I don't know.
Maybe the book. Maybe is he talking about the book? I'm not sure.
Have no idea, but all I know is that I never. First of all, I like The Drinker a lot, and I respect his opinions and I respect his reviews. But I don't always agree with everything. Like there could be a situation maybe he kind of liked a movie and I don't like it, or vice versa. So, and you'll never find a group of people that everybody's always going to like the same thing or dislike the same thing. I don't know what his comments were about this movie. I didn't hear them. All I can do is give my own comments on it. And like I said, pretty good rather than very good. And you could look at the 3/4 glass full or look at the quarter glass empty, if that makes sense.
Yep. No, Price, did you read the book or?
I didn't read it, no.
Right. So I wonder, R2, like, as I mentioned, reading The Martian, I kind of almost wish I'd seen the movie without reading the book. Can you distance yourself from reading the book, or it's almost impossible to do when you see a movie. So I would tell people, like, I didn't think The Martian was that good of a movie in a lot of ways. And I was jaded by reading the book first.
I would think that most people, because like I said, I think this actually, as far as when you make a book into a film, you really you've got to trim a lot, you've got to compress a lot, you got to be more economical with the way that you tell the story, and I think this does that really well, but perhaps not well enough. I think most people who are going to watch this, as when this last week on Mr. Brown's channel on Sunday, I was chatting with our friend, the Mega Geek, who had already gotten to see it. He gotten to see it a preview in London, and he was saying that he felt like it was too long. It dragged, and I was feeling the same thing when I was there. Mega Geek had not read the book, right? So I think that kind of the same things that were pulling me out of it, that were dragging the movie down a little bit, are the same things that a lot of other people, having not read the books, are still gonna feel. All the major stuff here is there and it works. Again, I think there's only one thing that bugged me from the book versus the way that they do the film, and that was the ending. I did not think that the end was as effective as the book ending. And it's a nitpick. Well, it's not a different ending so much as just how the ending is treated.
Okay.
I think in the way that it is presented in the book is more definitive. Where I felt like here, the way that they did it in the film, it leaves it open to a little bit of interpretation. And in the actual book, it says, "Hey, this is the result. This is how things ended up." And we talk about that later, but I don't want to spoil the book for you either. So
yeah. But
I don't want to ruin the ending for people, but I think that at the end, let's put it this way: you're trying to say that he has to make some decisions at the end, and you think that this here was a bit open ended the way he made his decision, whereas in the book it's more definitive.
In the ending, it follows Grace to his destination, you do not know what happened back on Earth until the very end of the book. But when you learn what happened on Earth from Grace's point of view, it's a very triumphant moment in the book, right? When you know that, you know the end. Again, I don't want to spoil this for
you don't spoil the ending,
Right.
yeah. But just the way that it is revealed, the ending, the climax is revealed in the book, I feel, to me, I just felt was more effective than the way they decided to do it in the movie. It's not bad at all. And my kids were like, what? I don't remember it that. I don't remember whatever. It's fine. I'm like, okay. It was for me, I felt like there was a more of an emotional impact in the way that it was handled in the book. So, yeah. But yeah, overall, like I said, I think anybody would enjoy this, whether they've read the book or not. There's a limited, I think, probably place where there's going to be some things that might not come across right or might feel a little bit short shrift, maybe because you haven't read the book, because they do have to take some shortcuts, right? Like I said, there's one scene where it's like, oh, look, Rocky fixed it, and it's like done. Where it was a huge ordeal in the book, right? Or there's a part near the end of the story where there's a whole big long discovery process that goes on, trying to figure out why things aren't working. Why isn't this happening? Oh no, this major thing has happened, and oh no, what am I going to do about this? How am I going to fix this? And how does this affect me? How does this affect Rocky? Whatever. There's this whole thing that happens that is a rather lengthy process in the book, where it's about 10 minutes in the movie, if even 10 minutes, right? Because it's just like there's just sort of shortcuts that are taken to get you moving. And I just kind of wish maybe they did a few more of those during the like emotional like stuff where the two of them are hanging out and talking to each other. So some of those just needed to be more economical. They needed to move more quickly, because when we do get to those moments, I think that's when it slows down the most.
I see.
Yeah.
I didn't read the book, so I don't have anything to compare it to. All I can do is just say how I feel as a moviegoer. And yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a feeling that really with minor adjustments here, a lot of it in editing, this could have been a better movie, which it wasn't a bad movie, but could have been better just with better editing. But what can you do?
Yeah, there's nothing. I would say there is nothing in this film that I think is bad. It's still a really enjoyable story. I think that Ryan Gosling does a good job in the role. Is enjoyable in the way he portrays this character. The way that they portrayed Rocky, other than maybe him being a little on the small side compared to what I think he, kind of what he was in my head when I was reading the book, right? I think that's fine. And I think that probably they did that just because, like, actually creating the little character and then having him move in the environments and stuff and the sets was going to be easier. And so that didn't take me out of it at all. I actually thought that the way that they, created that animatronic puppet, whatever it is, and had him moving around was fantastic. It looked great. And the spacecraft is maybe a little bit different than it's portrayed in the books, but that's not a problem. It didn't take me out of it at all. There's nothing about this that I think is bad. Like Price has said, maybe there's some adjustments that could have been made to make the pace, a little bit more even throughout, to make things move along a little bit more quickly. But no, otherwise, really enjoyable film.
Well, I think that's part of the charm of it too. Is I've mentioned 2001, where you build up to it, and that emotional impact at the end between these two characters, and one's basically an alien inanimate object that they breathe life and emotion into,
Well,
and
I mean, the thing is, 2001 is almost like, in ways, it's almost like an abstract, avant-garde, surreal type of like
It
yeah,
movie.
yeah,
is. It really
yeah, yeah,
is.
But
yeah,
the thing with that movie is that it's like a work of art. You'll sit there and watch the 3.5 hour whatever. It
yep.
feels like it lasts forever. You'll sit there and you'll really, if you like film and if you like art, you can sit there and really respect and appreciate what Kubrick did. I will say this though, it's a movie that I don't feel like throwing in and watching every 5 minutes. 2001. I totally
Gotta be in the
appreciate
mood
it.
for it.
It has iconic imagery and scenes in it. I think Stanley Kubrick was brilliant, and just the visual style and the ideas that he had here were so revolutionary and groundbreaking, and I respect all of that. But when it comes to the bottom line, it's not like an extremely rewatchable movie for me as much as I respect it. I'm
You
talking
have
about
to watch.
2001.
Do you ever watch it with the Pink Floyd soundtrack at the end? Even though they say it's not made
No, I
echoes.
never did
Listen,
that. But
oh
I
God, you
am
got to do it
happy
with
though that I
echoes. It's
once,
so good.
I studied film. This is
Mhm.
years ago. This is not yesterday. Like years ago, I studied film, and I'd never seen the movie. And then part of me studying film is that you used to get like, a lot of the lectures were in this like class that's a theater. So like you're actually watching it on a screen. And I was so happy that like I got to watch that movie. It's not like IMAX, but you're still watching it on a
On a
decent
bigger
sized
screen.
screen,
Hmm.
more in a
Yeah.
theater setting where like there's a theater with chairs and like you know what I'm trying to say, like you're getting the
More of an
theatrical
experience.
experience, and the fact that like I could watch that movie the first time with that kind of experience was awesome.
Mm.
Oh, it's
I
something to behold on a
I
big screen.
I
Yeah.
got to watch 2001: A Space Odyssey when it came out a few years ago. When they released the 4K, they put it in theaters briefly,
Yep.
and I got to watch it in an empty theater. Just me and 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Wow. You had a private rental.
That
Yeah.
was it was special. Like no one, like nobody else came. I was like,
Yeah.
yep, fine with me as long as they're still playing the movie.
Yeah.
Although the funny thing was that there's the intermission. They forgot to turn the movie back on.
Oh no.
And he goes, "Hey, the second half of the movie didn't start." They're like, huh? What? I said there's an intermission. The movie didn't start. Oh.
Last
They
time
had
I
to go up
saw
and trigger the second half of the movie.
last time I saw a movie with an intermission was The Brutalist.
Ah, yes.
And man, the thing with The Brutalist that was weird is that the first half of the movie, I actually thought it was interesting. And I'm like, well, this is an interesting movie. And then there was the intermission, and I'm like thinking, well, this seems like an interesting movie. Let's see where they go with it. I really felt good about it. I come back to the movie. Second half goes off the rails, and it's such a long movie. It felt like it was like 3-4 hours. I don't know what it was. It goes off the rails completely. I was saying, I think at the time, maybe I told you, Professor, that it felt like somebody made the movie and halfway through they called in Ryan Johnson and said, "Hey, can you do the next 2 hours of this movie? Do whatever you think is good." And then like that's what the second half of the movie feels like.
Mm.
Did that movie win a ton of awards, or was very
You know
well
what? If
regarded
it
by
would have ended
critics? Or?
after 2 hours, I would have felt more good about those awards. But man, those like 4 hours. The thing there is some stuff that happens in that movie, especially in the final portion of it, that feels like somebody wanted to shove in some weird woke shit towards like the final act of the movie or the final part of the movie, and it's like it caught me by surprise because up until like the halfway point it seemed like it was telling a semi, not a real historical story because it's not really based on a real person, but it was trying to show a time in America with some immigrants and thing. I'm like, okay, Then like the second half, it annoys me right now even thinking about it. I don't want to say it. There's a scene at the end, I'm talking about like the last maybe 30 minutes of the movie, something that happens that I'm like, man, I can't believe I just sat here for 3 hours to watch this shit just for this shit here. Sorry, Sean. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. Probably nobody knows what I'm talking about. Nobody probably saw this this movie except for me.
Brutalist. That's the one where they had AI do his accent for him, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Adrian Brody. Yeah.
He was good in it. It's not. I
He
didn't
got
have
the Academy Award.
problem. It's not. Jason Webster said it was way too long. Again, I could have been. It was too long, but I could have put up with everything if at least it was good. The shitting of the bed in the last like maybe 30 minutes to an hour, maybe 30 minutes an hour of the movie, complete shitting of the bed. I think about it now and it irritates me. I felt like I was they stole my time. They stole hours of my time. They stole like 4 hours of I think more. I had to like drive over there. I had to watch it. I'd drive away. And I don't know. Why did I even watch this stupid movie? I guess because people were all raving about it. And I'm
Said
like,
how good it was, right? Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's like, it's the best thing that ever happened. It's the best thing that ever happened. I'm like, well, if it's the best thing that ever happened, I have to go watch it. And yeah, unfortunately, it was not, in fact, the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah, what was the runtime of Hail Mary? Was it about 2.5 hours, 2:36? I think it was, or
I guess so. But I will.
It was a pretty long runtime, but I didn't feel bored.
I didn't feel bored. I will say this: that towards the end of the Brutalist, somebody serves somebody grape juice, and it's so kind of out of left field and annoying that until now it annoys me. Like, it feels like somebody like just said, "Hey, what if we just make this grape juice thing happen here now? Won't it be cool that we'll suddenly throw that into the movie?" And it's like, no, it's not cool. Sorry.
Yep. So the IMDb says 2 hours 36. So
yeah, it felt
that's
kind
with
of
credits. That's with credits though. So yeah, it was a little shorter.
Yeah, see, like The Martian, one of my criticisms of the movie was they left about 2 or 3 major missions out from the book. So you're saying they really pretty much covered the whole book in this movie. So that's what was disappointing because you missed out on some real cool stuff.
There's a few places, like I said, there's a few places where he's got to do a lot of sciencing.
Yeah.
Like to figure out a problem or to again, I don't want to spoil anything, but later on in the film, he's got to figure out how he's going to be able to, get the resources back to Earth that he needs to get back to them and stuff. And there's a whole long thing that happens with that too. And
2
there's
minutes in the movie or
yeah. There were, it's just, they just sort of blow through it. After the ship is damaged at one point, that is a whole thing to figure out like how we're going to be able to maneuver the ship and everything after it's damaged. And there's a whole thing that goes on there where it's basically they hit the easy button and
because they show the ship being damaged, but they never talk about the damage on the ship.
Yeah. They just sort of hit the easy button and it's over. Again, I don't think that any of this sort of ruins the movie. I think maybe there could have been a few more places where they took some more economical shortcuts with the storytelling to keep the pacing of the movie up. But I still think it's a really enjoyable film.
Yeah, I really liked it. Yeah.
The real head case says he didn't like it. I can't really. Oh, we have a super chat from Mr. Phobos. Hold on 1 second. Mr. Phobos is a friend of the channel. He probably gets annoyed. I always say that. Anytime I mention him, like I say that. It is true though.
Friend of the channel. Oh, Price
Price,
disappeared.
I think
he's back.
you knocked yourself out by accident.
He's back. He's back. He's back.
Just-
Sometimes when you try to share or something on Rumble Studio, like it just doesn't let you until you back out and come back.
Back out and come back.
Wrong thing. It's on me, but yeah.
There you go.
So Istophobos, I love the adult version, the booty list. You know, it was okay. I'm sorry if you wanted to go see this movie. I'm not ruining it because you don't know what it means, but you watch this movie that looks like it's going to be a story about, like, you know, a guy that came from a difficult situation to New York City and like, or something like that, and he's, you know, went through ups and downs, but at the end he's kind of like triumphant and successful. That's what you think the movie is going, and it seems to go in that direction. And then suddenly, out of left field, in the middle of like nothing, there's like somebody serves somebody grape juice, and then like another person, you know, it's like the movie, there's another portion of the movie with somebody complaining about the grape juice that was served with the grape juice. And I'm like, why did I watch this for 4 hours now? You know what I mean? I can't explain to you the disappointment. It's like as if somebody made a movie and just they took like a monkey wrench and threw in it. Now I'm sure some artsy fartsy people will be like, isn't it great that like out of left field there was like grape juice? I guess those Academy Awards people like it. I don't really know, but it's not my thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I won't watch it now. Thank you for the warning. Not that it was on my list to watch, but at one point I was actually going to watch it because, you know, whenever it gets an Academy Award or something, like, maybe I'll watch
it,
this.
it didn't deserve it. I when I saw that, I'm like, the only reason they started giving awards is because of that, probably. Like anytime like something like awful happens that you wouldn't like, that's what that's suddenly what they want, you know?
Yeah.
It's seemingly, I guess, pressed a few like woke points or something like that. I don't even know. Just awful. Yeah, and I don't know. So the real head case, you didn't like the movie? You didn't like they build you up. I guess did somebody
He was saying he didn't like The Brutalist.
Okay.
Oh, The Brutalist. Okay.
He was saying The Brutalist didn't like.
I thought somebody was saying if somebody didn't like the, you know, the what's his face, Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
So how do you guys think this is going to do? I mean, the word of mouth appears to be pretty strong right now from everyone.
I do think it's going to do really well. First of all, there's very little competition at all in the theaters, especially for something that would be relatively family friendly.
Mm-hmm.
We got nothing for 2 more weekends until Mario lands. So I do think this is going to do pretty well in the theaters. I don't know that this is going to be as well regarded as The Martian, by a lot of people, but I do think that there's going to be some real good word of mouth for this. I think it's going to more than make them back their money in the theaters. I hope that this is going to be a big success for them. Because, yeah, it is a good film. Great film, maybe not. Good film, definitely.
That's fair.
I like seeing, new sci-fi, and I'm a science guy, and
sure,
Star Trek, and I like seeing these kind of hard sciences. I mean, yes, it's fiction and a lot of things. There's a lot of stretches, I'm sure here, but it's very grounded movie in most of the tech in terms of they didn't invent warp drive all of a sudden to get to this other solar system.
Yeah.
The real head case, I do not like Hail Mary, Sam. I understand. That's fine. Istophobos thinks it's going to be 800 million worldwide. I'm not sure about that, but I'll tell you this, or I think that's what he was saying. But I if this thing even breaks even and then they put it on Amazon Prime and make more money for themselves, I will be happy, because if nothing else, I want to I want studios to be encouraged to make movies that are not crappy. And if this movie does at least decently and is not a money loser, and between the streaming and even the theatrical, they can, produce something that seems worthwhile to them, and we can get more of these type of movies, that would be cool.
And it's original, right? It's an original It's not a
Yeah, it's
sequel,
not some
right?
weird franchise. Nobody was capitalizing on anything.
Yeah, I was looking at the Netflix top 10, and Nobody 2 was number 1 on Netflix last week. So we're talking about, how, movies make money. And, maybe it's not, like this is obviously they want to make a lot of money in the theater, but sometimes movies are made basically for streaming or the streaming rights. And I think
Nobody 2 was effectively a direct-to-streaming movie, it
right?
just happened to appear in the theater. Nobody 1 was generally a good movie, but I think, like, the genuinely good movie. Nobody 2 was very kind of, it was watchable, but it wasn't very good, and it's exactly the type of movie I expect, like, to go to streaming. If it's
Yep.
doing well on Netflix and doesn't surprise me, it is the very definition of, like, a Netflix movie.
Yeah, yeah. But this is a theatrical event, yeah, to contrast it. But I was surprised. I'm like, wow, this is the number 1 movie on Netflix. I'm like, it was a popcorn, fun movie to watch, but not something I would have enjoyed paying for in the movie theater. Uh, but this really, I think, if you have the chance and you think you might like this type of film, it's definitely worth seeing it in the Dolby or IMAX or on a big screen because you're immersed in the movie. And like my wife is always yelling at me because I'm on the computer next to our, my table next to the couch. I have a all-in-one, and I'm always looking up everything about the movie and checking Twitter. So there's something to be said for especially a movie like this when you're in outer space and the set design and you're just watching that movie. And thankfully, everyone tonight was off their phone and not talking or chatting, and you're just in that movie theater. It did take me to another world. It was, and there's some profound moments between Rocky and Dr. Grace or Ryan Gosling's character.
Even, like, heartfelt moments, I like that.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah, sure.
Nobody, the only thing I can say is it cost $25 million to make. In the theater, was considered like, not so good. It got 43 million, I guess. But if you think about it, it needed to make maybe like 60 something million to break even. So in a situation like this, they could easily close a few deals with the likes of Netflix and get some pay-per-view money. This isn't like one of those, James Gunn situation where they've invested, I don't know, like, $400 million and they're barely even making, if
Yep.
at all, their money back. Maybe they're losing money. In this case here, because it only cost $25 million to make, there's some way where they don't lose money on this. You get what I mean? Between pay-per-view, between streaming, once your price tag is 25 million, you'll find a way to, if nothing else, not lose money.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they sell the movie beforehand, right? With the rights.
Right,
and
they already from
set up-
Netflix, they
yeah.
could just do an agreement. Maybe Netflix, what does Netflix care? Netflix, maybe in order to have like the after Amazon or whoever it is does the pay-per-view, they have the first right of putting it on Netflix. They cut them a check for like $25 million, already cover the budget. Anything they made in the theater is already like on the plus
Gravy.
side. Netflix gets to show it. There's a way. This is why I like that people are doing movies. When I see a movie that somebody made for $25 million, I like that because that's better business in my opinion. And those are the kind of movies that we should see more of. Problem with Nobody 2 that it had issues, but otherwise, if it's not a bad movie, I don't mind if it's made for $25 million.
Yep. So the budget on this Hail Mary, they're saying was 250 million. I don't know how accurate that is. 200 million net.
200 million.
Gross.
That's what I heard. I guess.
Yeah. Then they're saying gross. So maybe that includes advertising. You never exactly know with the accounting.
It's very expensive. I mean, it's a very nice looking
budget
film,
movie,
but
yeah.
I think that if you let the guy from like Godzilla -1 make it, he probably would have made it for less.
Right.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I don't think the movie's on the screen though. I don't see, I don't feel like they, wasted a lot of that. It feels pretty good as far as the quality of the film, quality of the effects, the like I said, the Rocky
it's a
puppet
well-made
and
movie.
everything.
It's a well-made movie.
It's good.
It's
Yeah,
just, I
still seems like a little much for this film. Given they didn't have a lot of sets. This they didn't have to have him floating around quite a bit. Maybe that costs extra.
Yeah, I'm wondering why. Yeah, why would this cost so much? I mean, I'm assuming they built. Maybe did they build like an exterior of the spaceship too for some of those scenes? I'm wondering because definitely
they did.
Interior.
They did. Yeah.
Okay. So it did look like that, and
It's
did
too
look very
excessive. It's too
realistic.
much money. I honestly, I want it to succeed, and I want them to walk out thinking that they should make more good movies. But even if it's like 200 million net, and they have to make like 500 million to break even, that is a lot of money to have to break even. This seems like a movie that they needed to make between 50 tops $100 million tops. Like $100 million, you should be able to make this movie. I don't care what effects, what you're talking about. $100 million, they should have been able to pull this off.
Yeah, it seems like a really excessive budget, unless that includes did Gosling get a massive payday? I mean, there's really not a lot of stars in this other than
Takashi
him.
Yamazaki would have made this movie for $10 million.
Yeah,
I don't even know if that's his name. Is his name Takashi Yamazaki?
Is that the Godzilla -1 director?
I'm guessing his name is Takashi Yamazaki. I
can't
don't know
remember
why
now.
I'm guessing that. It seems right. You know what I mean? Like when I think Takashi Yamazaki, I feels like that's what that guy is probably called.
But what an amazing movie that was for the budget, and I went to see
That
the
is one of
black
the
and white
biggest
version.
cinematic feat I've seen in years.
Right?
Let's see, Godzilla -1. Who made it? Who's the director?
And the special effects and the CGI were just so good, and
You know what's funny?
everything looked good.
He was the director, the producer, the guy that was like the special effects supervisor, like the writer. He did everything. I mean, he had a team, like a small team working with him, but he was just so hands-on involved, and it turns out that that's a good thing. And by the way, I just Googled it, and what do you know? His name is Takashi Yamazaki.
There you go. He was also in the Godzilla suit too, right? Correct?
None of this would surprise me. He probably made coffee for himself too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so
But,
that's the set. Yeah, I was showing that
Yeah.
picture before. That looks like it was a set.
Yeah,
that
this
was
is
built for
the practical set. Yeah, that they were shooting on. So yeah, they did have a practical version of the exterior of the ship. You can tell this is a pre-effect shot because they've got this little bit here.
Yeah.
That clearly would have had some other
CGI
stuff going on
added
there,
to it.
CGI'd in.
But no, that must have cost a pretty penny to build.
By the way, important
yeah.
message: if you guys are new to this channel or you got here from one of my other social medias, make sure to like and subscribe. Or if you're watching on Rumble through the app, make sure to register, sign up, and then follow us so you're always updated when we do a stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll end up doing quite well, and but of course, there's one buddy we go to see all the Marvel movies for years, and he's my movie buddy too. So, but like once in a while, we're like, would our wives, our better halves, want to go see this? And his wife opted out because sometimes want to save. If we could have a dinner and a movie is always fun to do, but it's like, nah, I don't really want to see this one in the movie theater. So, but I think it would have appeal towards. Both men and women. This movie wouldn't just be like a stereotypical science fiction shoot 'em up or tends to skew male. But I think this should appeal to a lot of different people because it's if you're a kind of a nerdy person, you might like the science in it, and then if you like space and exploration. That should also hit you, and maybe some people show up and think Ken is in it. I don't know.
Yeah, and there's a a bromance there too. Between the two characters.
But I thought they should. One is very minor. It's not really a spoiler, but they've got a voice for Rocky that they've got to come up with, and
yes,
they're showing that had different voices. My buddy and I were like, after the movie, they're like, why didn't they get Stallone's voice? Because you have ways.
For Rocky, yeah.
Just as a joke, even just because I won't say who it is, but Adrian, the name Adrian does appear in the movie.
Yes,
later,
yeah.
So there was no Link and Cuff or Cuff and Link. The turtles didn't appear, but I thought that was a nice touch. But we're like, what? They should have had Stallone in there, trying
yeah.
to
At least as one of the
samples.
As one of the voices they tried out. Yeah. Not as the permanent voice, but Yeah, and that is actually that is straight from the book, by the way. The whole
The
him
voices.
building the little programming up a little system to do a translation of the sounds and whatever. One of the things that they don't spend any time with on this in the film, but is in the book, is that basically they sent all of human knowledge with him into space.
Oh, they did. With Grace, Dr. Grace.
Yes, yeah, with Grace,
Okay.
like all like basically every piece of software, every piece of hardware,
Everything you think of.
like anything human knowledge that could be even construed as possibly useful to him was sent out on this ship. And so he's like, oh, well, let me see. Yeah, I've got some software here that can listen to these spectral sound frequencies or whatever, this spectrum. And so he sets up the software to listen to the spectrums of sound that Rocky is making, and starts assigning words to the noises he's making. But then they do kind of show it in the film as he starts to move further and further through the film, or further and further through the book. The more time he spends with Rocky, the less and less he actually has to rely on the computer to tell him
He can actually
stuff.
understand him.
He's actually starting to pick up the sounds that he's making and understand at least the most basic types of stuff that he's saying. So
yeah, they did kind of gloss over. I mean, it was well crafted in the movie, but they didn't explain the background of how they just show the laptop and like 1, 2, 3, and then it progresses. And then in the end, it did seem to me like he could understand him, but I wasn't exactly sure. But Rocky can't. I guess he can't vocalize a human voice in any way, shape, or form. I'm assuming. But the characters really worked well together, and,
they do.
Yeah, so that was one part that was, if that part didn't work, the whole movie's a failure. If that wasn't believable, if you didn't care about Rocky, I mean, we're talking about Starfleet Academy, and when how bad that was, and at the end, if the Origami Chicken Man had blown everyone up, I really wouldn't have cared. It's like if a character is about to die on screen and you don't care, there's a big problem there, and you really did care about these characters. So that I thought was a big, very well done part of the film.
I agree. Well, I think we covered this thing pretty well.
Yeah.
I want to thank our guests, both co-host Professor R2. Always pleasure hanging out with you. And Mark D with a C, thank you for joining us. It was nice that we got to talk about this movie.
Yeah, we got a visit from the lovely Sean Crummell earlier as well.
Oh, we got Sean as well. Yeah, it was quite a... That's what's kind of
guest,
unique.
Right?
What'd you say?
Star-studded guest tonight.
Yeah.
You know what? For us here at the Night Owl, we have certain people that for us, that's like a star-studded guest. So whether from time to time we have Mark D with a C, we have Sean Crummell, we have like an Istophobos, we have CC Karaoke, and once in a long time, even like a Robot Head. Those are the kind of guests that we consider like VIP. So for us, it's always great.
Yeah, thanks for hopping in with us at this late hour, Mark. Appreciate it. It's
no, it was great. It's actually almost going to go to head to bed, and then you guys are talking about Wolverine, and I was lurking for a long time, getting some work done, and I actually bought those comics off the newsstand. I took the train to go buy those comics with some friends back then. And then I said in the chat, I'm like, why didn't I buy like 10 copies? But you never buy 10 copies of anything, right? No. Back in the day, it was only 60 cents. But those are some of my all-time favorite. Oh God, I love those. That Wolverine miniseries, and that's another movie that disappointed me in some ways. It was good, but they changed some of the details in the comics, and the end wasn't that good. But especially that when he's hunting the grizzly bear, and they changed some basic shots in that, and it was good, but not great. I'm like, what? Just do it exactly like the comic. It's so good. That's one of my all-time favorite comics. Oh, God, it's so good, that Wolverine Limited.
Georges Irex, was there a post-credit scene for the Project Rosary cinematic universe? No,
There is not.
No, there is not.
No spoilers. There's not.
There's no sequel.
There's no sequel. You do if you really want to stick around. There's some rocky chatter as the
there's a
movie
little bit
fades
of
out
chatter.
at the end, but that's it.
That's it.
There are no additional scenes or anything hidden at the end of the movie.
On Rumble, we had Dude Rose F420, Phantom Monk, Black Kaz 2525, Double R Star, Darren Mai, Folsom Lockdown, Born to Be Down, Gaming Stuff, and Vidiot. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yes, much appreciated. And let's see, over on the YouTubes, lovely group of people hanging with us tonight. Inku, Mary White, Zuna RJ5, Captain Zoom, Karate Werewolf, Frank Blaskowitz, Jonathan Conroy, Adrian Veit, iLord Corey, Mark D with a C. Look at that. Marla Sharondoff, the PVFS, Badfoot, Georges Irex, Big Sir River, Robot Head, who hung out here for a few minutes. Good to see you, Robot Head. Josh Irwin, Ms. Sparkles, Tim Hayes, Kodo Rob, Yitis, Gavin Blackburn, Phantom Outsider, The Real Sean Crummel, John Davidson, Mur Rockstro, Adam Gray. My window reloaded. Hold on. I hate what happens. Adam Gray, Istphobos, Lasher, Tomahawk 511, The Real Headcase, Caleb Levine, Darren M, The Dead Man, and Jason Webster. And thank you again for the super chats and memberships tonight. It's Jason Webster, Darren M, Miss Sparkles, and The Dead Man. And Istphobos as well.
All right, so I guess we did our thing, and today is Tuesday. Sorry, today is Thursday already. Oh,
It is
flies.
Thursday. Yep.
So
It's
we
Friday
will
for
see
me.
everybody here on Tuesday at 11:45 p.m. Eastern. So we always do on Tuesdays and Thursday at 11:45 p.m. On the Night Owl. And you all have a good night.
Take care.
Good night.
Bye.